Hey, everybody, welcome to Movies We're Talking About, where we talk and talk and talk about movies. I'm John Carlos. I am joined by
Uh,
Eddie.
yeah.
You and I, like when this started, it was in the pandemic. It was 2020, and I think
hmm
one of the earlier ones we ever discussed
hmm
was the Final Destination movies, which at the time, the fifth was supposed to be the end.
Mm. And the beginning.
Ah ha 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 ha. If you're watching this, we expect you to have seen all the Final
Come
Destination.
on. What are
Yeah.
you doing? What are you doing?
But also, I remember at the time we had discussed, because here's how much can change in 5 years. There was a whole different set of writers attached to a
Mm.
Final Destination 6. And at the time, the pitch, not the pitch, but like the log line was that it was supposed to take place in the world of emergency first responders. And I'm like, that sounds like an interesting idea for like addressing death and like
Yeah.
if your main characters are EMTs and all that. And in
hmm
the time since then, I know that after the success of the Spider-Mans, um, and I just forgot his name, but the guy who directed all three of those.
Don't look at me.
That's unfortunate. You know, the older you get, the human IMDb. I remember Mark Webb did the two shitty ones,
Right.
and then you know,
And I remember that
yeah, because his last name is Webb.
too. Yeah.
But
I,
Matt something or other, he's a good dude. He did Cop Car and Clown, and I like him, even if I can't remember his name. But anyway, he
yes.
had one of those, not like a full blank check moments, but was like, you know what? I like them Final Destination movies. I have some clout right now with Spider-Man, right? I want to go produce the next Final Destination. And I know that when he came on board as a producer, he had a story because he gets a story by credit. But like that previous script about first responders,
hmm
get the fuck out of here. We have a brand new concept starting over. And that's where, the new people came on board. And it's just interesting because the last time we talked about this, there was going to be a sixth one, and it's not what we ended up getting.
hmm
Let me see right here. Was directed by, produced, whatever. His name will come to me later.
Okay.
John Watts.
Oh, that one.
Anyway, so here we are. And because we have this fucking show, I haven't talked to you about this movie IRL. I have no idea if you like it, if you didn't like it. I've always known this is not your franchise.
Yeah, I mean, not primarily. I enjoy it, but it's not,
Yeah,
especially like it. My sister has ownership of it.
yeah, I get that. Like, I don't know if you and I are on the exact same page, but like Nightmare on Elm Street is my franchise.
hmm
Scream and Chucky are my franchise.
And
I
Psycho
like the
for
Final
me.
Destinations. I own them all,
Yeah.
and I revisit them every few years. I go through them all. Like, I like
Yeah.
them enough to watch them many, many times. So
hmm
I'm here for this,
Yeah.
but I'm not like ride or die
No, 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 no.
to the degree where, like, I know for some people, some fans,
hmm
the way the fifth movie was like, we bring it full circle. What a
Yeah.
great reveal at the end. And then the end credits is like this best of, hit list takes you through all five
hmm
movies. And it just felt like we closed the
hmm
curtain.
hmm
And I know some people did not appreciate the curtain being reopened. I, when it comes to using that metaphor or that euphemism, like my whole thing is like, do you have something that's worth opening the curtain for again? Because we did drop the curtain. We dropped
mm
it. It was nice. It felt like the end.
mm
I mean, I have notes, but in the end, like I had a good time. I thought this was, for the very least, worth raising the curtain for.
mm.
How about
Okay.
you?
Yeah. I wasn't one of those people where I was just kind of like the fifth one is the perfect ending. So I and anything else that comes will be trashed in my mind. I didn't have any of that. I knew there was probably going to be another one somewhere along the lines, and the only thing that really kind of worried me was the fact that they decided to use the subtitle "Bloodlines" for it, and I was like, last time I saw that was Pet Cemetery, and that
Oh, isn't there
mess.
also a Hellraiser?
I
One
Wrong person to ask. I've only seen the
one of
first
the
three.
like 8 straight to DVD Hellraisers.
Not the first three, I know that much. But
Yeah. Oh
but
no,
yeah,
because
probably.
the fourth
What?
one? Fuck, was the fourth one Bloodline? I
Look it
think
up.
so.
We have the internet.
I I saw that movie once when it first came out on VHS.
Oh,
Hellraiser Bloodline, 1997. There you go.
okay. Singular.
Singular, yeah.
Only
But
one
yes,
bloodline, yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up though, because it's always fascinating to me when in the franchise of any franchise
Yeah.
they get sick of using numbers and start fucking with it, you know. So you had Mission Impossible 1 and 2 and 3, and then they're like Ghost Protocol. I'm like, what about
Mm.
4?
Even
Like
making it part, yeah.
you know, even Jaws was like The Revenge. You're like, oh, come on.
Hmm.
Police Academy 1 through 6. Then with the 7th one, they're like Mission to Moscow. I'm like, no number 7? Come on, guys. It always happens. It always happens.
Well, because I'm also not like a huge title person. I remember when War of the Planet of the Apes came out, and I saw so many people on YouTube back when I used to watch like film reviews on YouTube, and in my feed even. On Instagram, I remember people just kind of raining down upon it, going like, "Why'd they even call it War of the Planet of the Apes? There's no war, or the war only lasted so long." And I was like, "It's just a title, guys. Like they were just looking for descriptive words to describe what was going on. It's part of the ongoing war that's always been present throughout this." Well, okay,
I mean,
whatever.
there is
Um,
definitely a war of ideals between Caesar and like Woody Harrelson. Like,
Right. And even I actually put more stock in the previous argument about the other two movies. The fact that the first one was Rise and then the second one was Dawn. And I was
and
like,
it,
oh yeah, because Dawn comes before Rise. They probably should have swapped it, but I'm sure they weren't thinking about it. So already I'm set up not to like invest that much in what the title is. I just show me the movie.
yeah,
And so then I saw that they called this Bloodlines. Like I said, I'm not usually somebody who gets my sweater caught on titles and shit like that or subtitles. But with this one, I was just kind of like, Bloodlines, how the hell of all the franchises to like attribute something to Bloodlines, how are they going to make that work? So I was interested. It didn't
mhm.
douse the flame, but I was just kind of like, all right, let's see what that means because it didn't
Yeah.
seem like something that they could make work until I saw the movie, and I was just
Until
kind of like, oh, all right,
once
that's
I saw
interesting.
the trailer and the premise, I'm like, oh, 'cause it's about fam. Got it. All right.
I don't watch trailers anymore, so I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I went
Okay.
in blind the first time I saw it.
What I do is I first of all I want to say I mostly don't watch trailers, but when I do, I watch about the first half, and
Mm,
then I go, ah, that's it. Like I'm already, you know, I don't need to see the whole thing. I don't need you to
right, right.
show me fucking Hulk coming out in the arena.
If the ticket's already bought, I stare
Oh
at the
yeah,
floor.
yeah. For example, like I mean, this video is dropping in October, but we are currently in very early September, and the trailer for the Dust Bunny dropped.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna see the Dust Bunny anyway,
yeah.
and then I watch about the first minute of the trailer out of curiosity. But I'm just like, tickets sold, man. I don't. You had me at fucking Brian Fuller. You had me at Mads
And
Mikkelsen.
Mads, yeah.
Yeah, like
And
I'm there.
I'm there.
There's a bunch. There's a bunch of like. There's movies that like I full blown will probably refuse to watch the trailer for. I've done it a few times. Where I'm like,
Yeah.
between the director and cast, I don't even want a trailer.
Nope.
True story. Every single time that the trailer for Weapons started, I would get up and leave the theater. And that
Mm.
trailer was like in every fucking movie, so like I had to
That
get up like 10 times.
that makes me glad actually that I don't frequent movie theaters more often because I don't think I saw one. Whatever I was seeing just wasn't showing weapons trailers, and I understand that it revealed. I still to this day don't remember what it was, but they revealed something, and I didn't know
Oh,
that. So when I went in, and I saw weapons. It was just kind of like happening to me, and I was like, "Oh my God, what's going to happen next?" I really didn't. So that was good. But
see, I didn't even. All I know is because the trailer and all the little ads like on Instagram and YouTube are always just like, on this night, these kids got up and left, and that's all I knew. And
oh, that's
every
right.
and
Yeah,
every
the
like
arms.
log
I know
line
the
for it,
arms.
every
Yeah.
log line was that. So like, I remember even wondering like how much of that's giveaway, and it turns out that's like the first minute of the movie. So I actually really like the marketing was so hard
Yeah.
about the first minute.
Yeah. Someone asked me if it was before I'd seen the movie, if it was like what's the word I'm looking for? But like like an adaptation of the Pied Piper of Hamelin kind of thing. And I thought of what little I saw, I think I would see like a few seconds of something and go, oh, I already know I'm watching that, and I'd swipe,
Uh,
on my Instagram stories. So I knew enough just seeing kids run with their arms out and everything. I was like, oh, okay, this is that movie. I'm gonna see it. So he said Pied Piper, and I was just kind of like, that's not the vibe I got. It seems as though there's just what's the word I'm looking for? Like a massaging of one's free will, whereas Pied Piper was a man wronged, decided to,
right.
after he got rid of all the rats, take all the kids if you're not going to pay me.
Maybe a
And
Walrus and the Carpenter sort of thing.
maybe,
No.
but for me, it was more just kind of like a contemporary grim fairy tale. And the more I watched, the more I was like, this is not the Pied Piper. It's except for the kids running away, like that's
Which
it.
is just
But
one element, but there's so many other things that go on
and it doesn't happen at the top of that story either. So it's like
yeah, so
yeah.
whatever. But I'm glad
Anyway,
we're talking about like the marketing though, because
yeah.
so if so you didn't see any trailer for this movie?
Not that I can remember. I think, I saw one thing over and over and over again that was like the lead in to the trailer. It was even maybe the teaser before the trailer proper,
Yeah, I
which
hate
was
that.
just the grinding of the ice and the glass shard going in, and then you see everybody's having an outdoor party. Somebody's going to drink the glass, and I was like, the ticket's sold. I'm,
Yeah.
but I do have to say, before I ever set foot in the theater to see this movie, I was already traumatized, like programmed, never to shelve my ice in the same vicinity as any glass that could potentially break into the ice.
Oh.
Because I still think about it. Like, I'll be cupping ice into whatever, stein I'm drinking out of. And, and I'll just be like looking at just not even looking for glass, but just remembering, just kind of going, I hope there's no glass in this. And I just chew carefully, until I forget about it, and then I'm fine. But it has gotten under my skin, obviously. So what about you with your trailer
Well,
experience?
I found so I don't, so it, here's what I thought was interesting, and was that the first trailer, which I did gobble up, because again, and also I'll watch a full trailer if I'm not like if I don't really give a shit too much.
Okay.
Like fucking let's go.
Right.
Um, the first trailer is just the whole tattoo parlor scene,
Oh, okay.
and that was the entire like 2.5 minute trailer.
Oh, wow.
And I remember
Okay.
thinking, well, fucking like spoiler alert, audience, like guys, because whenever I see that movie, I'm like, well, that dude's gonna fucking die in a tattoo parlor. It's not until after you see the movie where it actually was beneficial to put that as your trailer because
Mm,
it really plays on your perception that that dude dies. Because spoiler alert, the next scene, the big twist is, I'm not dead.
yeah.
And I actually think the trailer really enhanced that because it made me go, ugh, you fuckers, spoiling the movie. It was actually I hesitate to call it clever, but it wasn't. It wasn't a problem
The
in this
editors
one case. It wasn't a problem.
the editors of the trailer were impish pranksters like Death in this
Oh yeah,
saga.
they were.
Because Death is an asshole. I think we've
Yeah.
said it before in our discussions of the other films. Yeah.
The other thing that was interesting was that I'm just complaining now, but after the movie came out, and I'm like,
Yeah.
thank God I've seen this fucking movie because
Mm.
YouTube, every Instagram or YouTube ad that would like show up at the end of a video or before you start a
Hmm.
video
Hmm.
was like the dad, the lawnmower, it on his head, and then like them showing the making
Oh.
of, and it was like, can you not stop showing the dad dying every time I watch a video?
Damn.
Like if I had never seen the movie yet, that would not entice me to go. That would just piss me off that you ruined a part of the movie.
Yeah. But I think they figure around the second or third week of the release, they're just basically the people who have been avoiding spoilers probably made it to the theater by now. So so now we just have to entice people because there are those other people which I don't understand. But I've heard a lot of people kind of our age who have kids now talk about like in interviews and whatnot, their children they're trying to school their children, curate, like a cinematic exposure for them. And anytime they want to show their kid a movie, the kid's like, well, where's the trailer? They will not watch movies unless they know what they're getting into. They want the trailer to at least clue them into like what they're in for, which I couldn't be I don't understand anything about that way of life.
I mean, you and I grew up just with like a video box, and
Yeah.
sometimes, you just you found a movie because you switched the channel and go, "Oh, what's this?"
You're like halfway through a movie
Right.
and you're like, this is
But
a compelling argument. Yeah.
not to find an excuse to counter against you, but I also know that like sometimes I'll be pitching someone like, "Oh, this movie," and I'm like, "Oh, but hold on," and then like we'll watch like part of the trailer just so I
Mm.
can sell you on it
Oh,
because sometimes my descriptor might not be enough, or
okay.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
work that hard to convince people to see movies. You work harder than I, sir.
I do.
Yeah. I just kind of try to suggest, at best, I don't even advise or recommend. I just try to, even more than suggest, I think I just make inquiries. Have you ever seen this? And somebody says yes or no. And if they say no, I just say, well, if you like the movie we've just been talking about, might want to check that out, maybe.
I mean,
Maybe.
look, like some people, like for example, tonight Tracy and I watched Friendship, and there was no trailer involved. Tracy was just sold on Tim Robinson, Paul Rudd. We're like, okay, let's go.
Mm.
But sometimes, I'm not saying I work hard every time, but sometimes you have to like massage it a little bit. Like if if Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson isn't enough, I'm like, well, hold on. Okay, or like, ew, no thanks. That's all you. I go, great.
Well, because also, I mean, I don't see anywhere near as many films as I would like to these days, but I do, because that's another thing. I will kind of watch anything, you know?
I mean, I would love. Yeah, I am. Could almost, but I mean, obviously, I have a few lines in the sand, or I, I won't speak. Yeah, I was. We'll get to Final Destination, I swear. But like, I
We haven't seen
remember.
each other in a while. We're catching up.
Yeah, I remember you were
Yeah.
intentionally watching lots of bad movies because
Oh yeah.
your graph of what you've rated things
On
on
Letterboxd.
Letterboxd,
Yeah.
your bad movies line was very low.
Yeah.
I just sometimes I won't say what because I don't want to just talk shit. But there's a movie that like fuck that. And lately I've been like, you know what? Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
It's a spooky season type movie. I like spooky season type content.
Hmm.
And for what maybe at least if you hate it now, you can say why you hate it. And I've
Yeah.
tried. I've stopped and started like 5 times. I'm slowly making my way through it, about 10,
Oh,
20
I
minutes a
can't do
day.
that. Oh my God, I can't do
I can't do that for a good movie,
that.
but I could do that for something that sucks.
No, I need it to be over. I'm just kind of like, okay, you know what? I just need to sit here. How much time do I have left? Oh, thank
No,
God.
because then I start to value, well, how much time am I wasting now when I could be watching something I fucking like?
But then you're
Whereas,
extending the pain. See, I
but
can't do it.
in
I have to do
small,
it in one
like if
sitting.
I have 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there, but like I'm going to commit 90 minutes to this shit.
No, but see, that's like for me, the analogy there is like trying to pull just the first top of the Band-Aid, the first edge of the Band-Aid off, and then waiting a day, then tearing out the neck. And the thing is, it's better just to go as quickly as possible.
I don't, I see, it depends on the movie. This particular movie, I'm having a really rough time with.
I'm gonna ask you when we're off pod what
Yeah,
the
when
movie
we're off pod, we'll
is.
talk all about it. But honestly, I don't like to just be this awful, be awful about things on
I know.
because YouTube's actually like it's getting worse. Like the algorithm is just shoving negativity just down your fucking throat through the feed. And because like the only thing that's like monetizable that's profitable for people is to just talk shit. Like the not just like opinions in the Manosphere podcast, but just like film criticism. Like it's just
Mm,
the horrible film bro. Just let's focus on box office and you know just
mm,
it's awful and any little thing I can do to contribute talking positively about movies to a certain degree. So
yeah.
anyway, that movie that I hate, that's not for this show. Um,
Tell me about this movie.
this movie, it's. I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, it's a. I don't want to call it a tightrope, but it does many things.
It does.
It does things new with the franchise,
Hmm.
while also trying to give you familiarity,
Hmm.
while also I can't believe it's been 25 years since the first movie. But since it is taking stock of the fact it's been 25 years, there are all these little tiny wink, wink, nudge, nudges.
Mm.
So it's kind of giving you nostalgia, but also fan service, but not too much fan service, but also how to give you something new. and man, the reactions to this were like across the board so different. Like, I know
Yes.
people in real life, and I know a lot of people that I follow socials that did not appreciate what it did. I know some that think it's the best in the franchise.
Hmm.
And I know critics really liked it. And for the first time I saw it, I was like, I couldn't tell you where I would rank this. I mean, I like it better than 2 and 4, but like, I wouldn't. And even after the second viewing, this is the first time having watched it a third time
Mm.
where I'm like, I think I could probably rank this somewhere. I think, but
Uh,
I mean, all of those top movies, like 1, 3, and 5, all have like their strengths
yeah.
and weaknesses, and this one has its own sets of strengths and weaknesses. And I'm
Yeah.
like, how do you like? This is harder to weigh. But I will tell you up front, I enjoyed it. I own it. I've now watched it 3 times.
Nice.
It's got people dying. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll watch 4. I watch 4 every few years. I
True.
watch them all.
Yeah.
But no, we'll get into the nitty gritty. But up front, I enjoyed myself.
Cool. I've seen it twice now. I saw it once in the theater during the release. There's a story there, and then once today off HBO Max because they're streaming. I think all of them now, and gotta say it's a little disheartening when I get confronted like face to face with the sometimes reality that the quality of the picture and the sound at home surpasses the quality of the theater that I saw it in.
Oh.
Because I was looking at it thinking, wow, the colors are so much more vivid here and everything's so much brighter. I think they turned the brightness down on I don't know if it's a projector even anymore, but whatever it is that plays, on my screen. I remember it being kind of dark, and I didn't get that at all when I was watching this. I was like, no, it's lovely, it's lush, it's lit. I can see shadow, I can see light. But um, first experience, I understand exactly what you were talking about in terms of like kind of being confused because I did enjoy myself. I had a real good ride as far as the movie was concerned and the course it took. But I knew because I saw it with my sister and we were discussing it afterwards because she liked it as well. But I told her I don't know ultimately how I feel because now that I've made my way through the real test, because it depends so much on you not knowing what's coming, and that's what I enjoyed so much was the discovery as I moved through it. I need to see it again before I can judge what I think of it as a film. Is it solid, something that I'm going to get more gratification or even just like gratification that's on par with subsequent viewings, or is it something that's going to lose a little luster, once I know what's waiting around the corner?
And
And the latter. I
sure.
knowing what was coming, it didn't ruin the movie by any stretch of the imagination. I do still prefer it to 2 and 4, and I do watch those. But ultimately, I think because I knew what was coming, there was more time to focus on things that felt like they were placeholders
Ooh.
emotionally, or yeah, placeholders in terms of like turns that it was taking. I was just kind of like, oh, that was a very economic. This is the most positive way I can say it. That was a very economic way to achieve that moment. And we can get into specifics, but what's your response to that?
No, absolutely. I had a great time the first time. I had a great time the second time. Third time, I'm not going to say this movie falls apart, but like once you know what to expect with certain kills and certain performances, certain things,
Hmm.
you then start to focus on other areas and scrutinize them, and
Yeah,
maybe allow yourself to. And like for the people who didn't like it, I start to go, oh, I think I see why. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of lazy, or this gets
yeah,
brought up and goes nowhere. Like
yeah,
I still like the. There is this movie. I had to say to use this word. It like pretends or wants to maybe have a more because I mean every movie is sort of like here's a gang of people. I don't know. They're all on a plane or on a freeway. They get thrown together. They're not friends. They don't know each other. And this one's like, oh, it's about family and it's about the sins of this, and or the decisions they made and the weight that was put on them. And like it tries to have more emotional baggage, but halfway through like Act Two, it doesn't give a fuck about any of it. Like it just pretends to for Act One.
hmm
There's a lot of that where I go, wait, we're not gonna. All right, if you're like, fuck it, I guess I am too. You know.
With one particular character who I guess there could be an argument made that this person just might not mind that deeply. But how interesting is that? Especially if you don't address it, if someone doesn't confront someone and say, like, why aren't you facing this? But I do have to say, I mean, just from a theatrical experience on the second watch, like the first thing that just kind of hooked me and I was like, oh, nice, was just the New Line Cinema logo into the Domain logo, just the way you have this incredible symphonic spiral downward.
As it turns red?
Yeah, I was just kind of like, oh, I forgot that happened. I'm ready for this. And then I got to say, this movie, I don't remember another movie using so much ironic use of multiple pop songs throughout it.
Yes.
In this franchise.
Not just in the opening scene, which I thought, like, oh, that's the point of this opening scene, but throughout the movie. Like,
yeah.
Oh, we're driving to the hospital, let's play Spirit in the Sky, because where are you going to go when I die, when I die?
Right.
Like, constant, yeah. This is the most fun I think any of the Final Destination movies have had from, like, the director, producers, writer standpoint, just sort of, like, having fun with tee-hee-hees all over.
I mean, that's the thing, is that they do, the things that they do pay off, and that they execute well in terms of just like the tee-hee-hee of it all. I think that's what keeps me hooked in. And what keeps me from like disengaging from these characters the way I do disengage with, say, you know, like the kind of Agatha Christie looking strangers of Final Destination 2, no matter what links them together and the discovery at the final act or whatever, and then or even just the disinteresting way the half-assed way they're written in the Final Destination.
I mean, I will give this movie credit for one thing, because, you know, it does do something kind of different, which is, and I guess we'll kind of I'll bring it up now just to get to the other point, but like the fact that it doesn't have an inciting incident where all of our heroes are brought together, nor does it have an inciting incident where like they survive. Like the inciting incident is completely different. But the second movie tried to be about like, oh, this is the ripple effect from the last movie, and we wouldn't have been on the freeway if that guy hadn't died. And I thought that movie did an absolute shit job of bringing that up and trying to do something. At least this movie does a better job.
Yeah. Well, because that's the thing, is like there's something to being the fact that you all weren't supposed to exist because one person wasn't supposed to survive, and the bloodlines of it all, to get into that part of it, that was what actually I thought made it work, was that there was like a context that, you know, like one of them is, or not even one of them, that's the thing, the fact that multiple members of this family are estranged from each other, and the fact that it can all be kind of like delineated among like the grandmother, the mother, and then the eldest daughter, at different times kind of experiencing their own version of either ostracization from the family or self-imposed exile, or a little bit of both. But they all get to kind of like be the odd person out at some point. And they each get like little opportunities to kind of, between maybe two at a time, because we never get to see all three of them together. But like basically like with Steph and her grandmother, or Steph and her mother, experience almost like a cathartic camaraderie in the fact that they are all kind of making each other's mistakes, and that they're all and I thought that was, again, it's not like every moment, every step of the way I was so emotionally caught up in it and I was like, whatever, but at least it was there. I could see the effort, and
whereas two, by the way, you guys are all connected to this. All right.
Two feels so much more like the writers just kind of going like, see what we did? And I'm like, yeah, great. But
now Bloodlines doesn't nail it, but yes, like you said, I see the attempt. But I remember, it's actually one of my notes where like, and I actually wrote this down during Act 1, where like, okay, so Steph comes back, her brother's a little standoffish. They go to the cousin's house. Mm-hmm. And then that cousin like full blown like interrupts her when they're talking about the date. She's like, "Oh, who asking to prom? Oh, this girl." Anyway, and she's like, "Oh, okay, you're not." It's mentioned that like you guys are best friends.
Yeah.
They have a scene at the funeral where he like accuses her, do you even really care? Like we've been texting you and messaging you, you don't write back? Like, and I wrote,
Yeah.
oh, okay. And I wrote, does this movie explore why Steph lost touch and doesn't care about her family? And then at the end of the movie, I went, oh no, it doesn't.
No.
It brings it up for 2 scenes, and then it doesn't. She has a scene with her mom
Yeah.
where like her mom explains why like I left and I didn't want that
Right.
for
It's all about
you.
her mom's atonement. Yeah.
And I guess in a weird way, so now she left her brother and cousin, but like why? Why? I don't think the movie's that interested in answering that question, or if it is, it was deleted.
The only thing that I kind of pick up in my head canon as I'm watching it is she just seems to be like almost pathologically self-reliant, and just so there's something to also the nature of the control freak, the fact that she's got all these plates spinning, and I can't even name what they all are. It's just kind of like an energy that Steph carries with her throughout the movie, is that she seems to be like a multitasker and someone who thinks that she can conquer everything and someone who doesn't reach out and who doesn't ask for help and who and so then when she finally does ask her family to listen to her, they're not inclined to. And again, I feel like I'm already just doing more work deciphering what the dynamic among the family was than the writers did as
Yeah,
far as like making it accessible to an audience.
I mean, especially because the mom, like she explains, well, Iris, my mother, was such a nut about all this.
Hmm.
And when I was first raising you and trying to protect you guys, and she says the word like protect, from all of this harm,
Yeah.
I started seeing that look in your face, and I didn't want to be the reason why you had that look in your face. But so I left, and I'm like,
Mm.
that's the reason why you like. But you're talking about protecting your children.
Yeah.
Like she's not saying, "Oh, I know I was acting crazy." She's like, "No, I believe that this was a thing, and I want to protect you from harm." And then I decided to leave you because you seemed scared.
I mean, they try.
God bless that actress for trying to sell that, because
Yeah.
I want to read that and go, huh?
Well, because I think even the writers know of what to speak, and that's why her next line, I believe, was something to the effect of like, "I still don't know if I made the right decision."
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, you're owning it. Like, I'm kind of writing the movie, going like, okay, well, there's more important things
Yeah.
facing you at present, so I guess this doesn't need to get resolved like right now. But the thing is, it never does
Yeah.
because she dies, and they all die. But
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot that doesn't get. Yeah. And there's a lot that gets. Again, I don't notice this the first time I watch it, but the third time I watch it, like
Mhm.
the dad, Steph's dad, I forget what happens where he's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. I'm going to go outside for a walk. And I'm like, and you're not going to be in the rest of the movie, right? Like, you just fuck off. And we're going to all go in the car. We're going to get in the thing.
Right.
We're going to go solve this mystery.
Mhm.
And the whole rest of this day, you're not going to know where your daughter and son are.
Mhm.
You're just not in the movie, because once we establish that you're not part of Death's little chain, I guess who gives a shit about you? So they're like, quick, right? He's going to go for a walk. And then they're in the van and they're like, oh, dad keeps calling.
Yeah.
Same thing with the other
The aunt.
spouse. Yeah, the
Yeah.
aunt that's also not there.
But at least she gets something to play when she discloses the secret about what's his
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
name? Eric.
Yeah.
Eric's biological father and
Best
everything
character
like
in the
that.
movie, by the way.
I still get upset when I hear real father used in a movie, though. I'm like, dudes, people don't talk like that anymore. But anyway, maybe they do. Maybe I'm ignorant. But how would I know? How the fuck would I know? But anyway, no, because at least she get, like I said, at least she gets something to play. She gets to play more of a part in helping without helping
Oh,
Steph
yeah.
in like telling her, well, whatever you do, don't look in the bottom, shelf of the
Right.
deck or whatever she says. And I'm like, okay, so already you're more important to the story, to the things that are going forward
Yeah.
than her father. And her father seems to have absolutely no reaction to his estranged wife coming back, aside from just kind of open-armed embrace, which I guess is decent enough because you don't want somebody starting shit at a wake or a funeral, but at the same time, he's always just kind of like there offering beverages, I feel. Like that's
I mean,
his.
I felt like there was something awkward about her coming to the barbecue, and then he kind of sucks it up to be polite about it.
Right.
Whereas, yeah, and that's about the juiciest thing he gets to play.
Yeah, no, but to no end.
And then the aunt, has these two kind of good scenes. And then after we establish that I slept with someone else,
yeah,
and they're all, we're going to go in this camper and go solve this mystery and protect your son from dying.
yeah,
Again, it's her son. She's just lost her husband and her daughter.
right.
Where does she have any 2 cents to say about it? She's fucking
because
gone.
we follow the young people.
Because we follow anyone who's on the list, because they're the only ones who might get their heads splattered.
They're the only ones who matter, because fuck the people who care about them and who think that they might. Although,
yeah, if you don't, I've thought about this a lot. If you don't scrutinize this movie too much,
yeah,
it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
If you start to peel back any layers, it kind of falls apart.
Well, because Eric's the only family member who gives a shit who's not on the list. Once he finds out that he's not on the list, that's actually what makes him give a shit. Is the fact that he discovers he's not on the list, realizes his brother is next, and now he's going to protect him, which actually again jumpstarts his character and makes him interesting to me. That was the most interesting thing to me about him. I don't think I shared your love for Eric.
I mean, this is gonna. Sometimes I could just like that. I just think that boy has charisma. I think he has a very interesting face that I want to look at on screen. Mm-hmm. And whenever he talks, I'm just like, I want to keep listening to you. Like, you're just stealing every scene you're in just by your presence. Like, you just have it.
It was a good dynamic between him and the guy they cast as his brother. What's the brother's name? Bob? Is it Bobby?
I don't know, maybe. But he has. I actually really like that kid too, because he looks. Like, his physique and his jaw looks like he could play a high school bully.
Right.
He doesn't act like it.
There's something in the
There's
eyes.
something really sweet in his eyes.
Yeah, and even just in the tonality of his voice, like when he's just like, "Don't touch those babies."
Yeah.
Oh, he just completely innocent.
He gets a lot of good lines, especially just like in that, like everything, like even the fact that like he's wearing pastels, like nothing about him seems to match what you would cast him as.
Yeah.
But he has one of my favorite moments in the entire movie, which is when you think, "Hey, in case I die,
yes,
in case I die," and you're waiting for him to say like, "Tell Mom I love her" or something, and he's like, "Take care of Paco." Like, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. At the moment of your death, you're caring about your pet. I like you, and you wear like a light purple sweater. Like, you're a good dude.
Also, like I love the fact that like if he's gonna go out like just moments before when they're at the vending machine, he doesn't want any of that unsalted crap. He wants the peanut butter cups, and then when he tastes them, oh god, fuck this good. And I'm like, okay, everything about this guy is just endearing me more and more to him.
And they feel, I don't want to say like oil and vinegar, but I love like they don't match, and I like that they still, these brothers, I buy them as and I also love the fact that when I looked at that side of the family, and I looked at Eric, right? His name's Eric.
Yeah,
Eric. I looked at Eric, and Eric's a bad man. When I looked at him, I remember thinking, you don't look like the fucking girl and Bobby. Like, who cast you? You're their brother. I don't buy it. And then you find out, I'm like, well done, movie.
And even within the scene, like I'm watching them, and I when they're arguing about like the babies, and then later about like the scene that you were describing with take care of Paco and all of that stuff. I couldn't stop looking at their faces and totally buying the connection, but also just loving the fact that like whoever cast them had an eye for like, well, because as handsome as Bobby is. Like his eyes are a little close together. He does kind of, and with the right expression on his face, he does look kind of like a little derpy, just a little like non-threatening kind of, hey, Yeah. And the other one, his eyes are a little farther apart, and he's got like some arched, eyebrows and everything like that, and a little bit of intensity. Like there's a harshness to his gaze, and I just kind of like the fact that these two actors are working so well off of each other when they couldn't be more dissimilar in terms of like how they're just reading on screen.
I mean, it's classic. Like, I mean, this isn't the same example, but like Laurel and Hardy, like Chris Farley, David Spade. Like we are just one's taller, one's littler. Like just
it just works. Whatever it is,
one's dark and smoky, one's like all American.
But I'm glad that we're talking about them because I think they're probably the most endearing people who we meet after the opening.
Okay.
Can we go there?
To the opening?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Can
Yes.
I just want to say one thing up front.
Go for it.
I had no idea that Breck Basinger was in this movie.
Oh.
So movie starts, and there's a blonde with her fucking, and then the thing comes off, and I'm like, oh, it's Stargirl. I love this. She's such a talented lady.
Oh
Like
yeah.
she's just adorable and good. And I'm watching this opening, what feels like 15 minutes go on, and I'm like,
Hmm.
I know this is the opening scene, but like, can she be my main girl?
That's how I felt. I
And
was.
no, like, my first note when the movie was over was Breck Basinger was so good. Can we make her the lead of a horror movie
I know.
and not just the 15-minute girl? Because she needs to fucking headline something.
Because she fucking nailed it, but they also nailed it in terms of just like structuring a life for her, a backstory. Casey and I talked about it after the movie. We both kind of felt, and I really need to think on it now, but she was leaning in the direction that possibly this was the best opening sequence of the franchise. And I really have to sit on that for a while because it's playing on something different because there is a lot more going on, but I feel like it absolutely it succeeds at everything that it's attempting in the
Mm-hmm.
opening dream flashback, what have you, sequence. Um, like every plate that's spinning there, I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I have a note
Well, I will.
because
I will.
yeah,
No, you because.
just because ultimately, like the most important thing, which is just kind of like the propulsion of the story forward, is what I'm focusing on. I just continually want to find out what's happening, how, when, and all of that. And that was actually one instance. That's probably the only chunk of the movie that from beginning of the flashback or whatever the dream to the end of it, I was as compelled as I was in my initial viewing.
Hmm.
And I doubt that'll change because she's so endearing. The discovery, because she has a secret that she has to share, and the
And
way
then the lady who's in the band, the way they.
oh my God, so sweet recognizing her in an instance. And again, everything about it feels perfect because I'm already on their side as a couple because they're being rejected by people because their
Mm-hmm.
way in, the one way in to have like a special night that they both wanted to be special for the same and different reasons,
Mm-hmm.
um, is now going to be taken away from them because of like some bourgeois pig at the podium. But then someone in the band connects with her and sees what recognizes what she's actually going through before I did. And even has her own child. So again, camaraderie, like there's like a kinship between them like the kind of instantaneous kinship you can only share with a stranger if they're on like where you see them and you've been there, so you feel it, so you can speak to them in a way that isn't condescending, but it's just I
Yeah.
see you. Fucking A. And
And
then
like,
every yeah.
and she's cool because she's like, hey, let's just go to the bar. What? She's like, no, fucking like, just play cool. Let's go to the bar. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then even the little things, but like, it's kind of cute the way he's like, hey, look, free drink. She's like, oh, my favorite. I'm like, oh, you guys are like
Yeah.
funny together. But the thing I relate to is by the time he walks over there, like yoink, yoink, yoink.
Yes.
I was like, oh,
Yes.
bummer. Only right now did I just now realize, but bitch, you shouldn't be drinking.
Yeah. But it's the 60s, so what are you
Yeah, I
gonna
was gonna say, but she wouldn't know. You would think. If the first season of Mad Men's any indication, where they have all these little jokes about like smoking in front of pregnant women and all that.
Hmm.
I don't know if did you watch Mad Men?
No, but I get it.
Brilliant show. But one thing is that the first season and only the first season gets really jokey about like there's all these dumb little gags about like how things have changed, and they eventually stop that, which is great. It just becomes like a drama. But
That's nice.
anyway, oh yeah, no, she's yeah, no, the two of them are great. I had there was something I kept waiting the first time I watched it. There's something about his face, something about his smile, where I'm like, you're gonna turn out to be a bastard, and then he doesn't. I'm like, oh,
Mm.
I like this guy, but I kept waiting for like the aha.
for the mask pull.
Yes.
The mask off moment.
I
But
think as part of it was just like he's just so like she's in the elevator like "Ugh," and he's like no, like I thought he was gonna be like the dumb like no, we have to go do the thing, we have to keep staying in danger, like we have to keep like he was gonna be like at odds with her,
oh,
and they
okay.
don't play that, and I'm
No. Well, I mean, also, I love that it meant something to her that he brought her there because he even pulled some strings together there on opening night. Like, I didn't even know this place was open. Like, again, all of this little backstory, it's just kind of like, oh, she's going to be dazzled by something like this. But then he's just like, oh, you're afraid of heights. She's like, no, it's just I've never been up this high before, and I'm just sitting there. I can't stop. Like absorbing, or observing the two of them and just being interested in like exactly where they are emotionally, which is why when he finally makes the proposal and she gives him the yes, but you know, only if the two of us, and he's just kind of like it takes a while for him to get there, but while he's absorbing the shock or whatever, and then finally just kind of like it's the best thing that could ever happen. I am so happy for them. I'm happy for her because she's been worried about this, and all I want these two young kids is to succeed. And I know what movie I'm watching, but I'm just eating it all up. So then finally, when the disaster introduces itself, and we all know that it's going to happen because fucking Penny and that shithead in the bow tie
that
gives
little fuck.
gives bow ties a bad name, and I take that personally. But even though I don't wear them, on behalf of Pee Wee Herman, and I'm sure there are other people I like who wear bow ties, but
Yeah, Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor,
oh,
made
there
bow
you
ties.
go.
He makes bow ties cool.
Okay, and I've only seen him play bad guys and stuff, but I'll take it.
Oh,
Oh, there goes my cat. But she's just lonely. So he one of these days I'll watch a Doctor Who episode. But but no, so that little shithead and everything like that, I'm just waiting for him to get smacked. And I guess it's enough that she got the fucking penny away from him when she came back from her premonition and everything like that. But even the execution of the premonition, there's something about the little bit softer now, a little bit
yeah,
softer
shout.
now, and everything. When they're all jumping on the fucking glass floor, and I'm doing the thing that the horror movie needs me to do, where I'm just like, who's not watching the floor? That's all I would be thinking about. But I'm getting angry. I'm getting worked up over fictitious people doing something that never happened. So good for you, movie, is what I say. And then it's. Does every Final Destination movie do this during the crisis? Because I don't feel like they all do. I was kind of grateful in a weird way that there was they seem to be using an aspect of people at their worst in crises that I don't
Oh,
remember seeing in previous. People always seem to be joining together, either freaking
yeah,
out or joining together, trying to help each other
that
in the
elitist
previous
fuck
movies.
trying to get into the elevator.
Pushing her down
Yeah,
out of the way to get in there, and then even it wasn't an elitist thing, but I guess just that woman like running and just getting caught on fire and nobody helping her to
uh-huh.
the point where whatever, I don't even remember what the fuck happened to her. She burned up. Oh, she ran past the gas and just
Yeah,
made the whole place engulfed in
yeah.
flames. Jesus Christ.
And I think that got her a Guinness World Record or something. She's like the oldest stunt woman to be lit on fire.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Good for her. But yeah, so that, and then again, that juxtaposed against like the kind of selflessness of is it CJ? What's
Uh,
Tony Todd's
uh,
name in this?
oh, William J. Bloodworth.
JB. Okay.
JB. William John Bloodworth.
Right. So when JB's mom is like shutting him up in like the cupboard to protect him and everything like that, and then immediately just like gets engulfed in flames and everything like that. So I get to watch kind of like the best and worst of humanity, because also that fucking kid is pushing ahead of everyone else, going like women and kids first, women and kids first, and I'm like, you dumb fuck, come back here and die with the rest of them. It's your fault this is happening. And
Wasn't the lady who like falls and lands on the glass and then the piano smashes her? Wasn't she being a bitch too? Am I imagining that?
I don't remember if she was being a bitch. I just remembered thinking like, kind of like the Prometheus thing where the wheel's coming towards you, so don't run forward, run to the side.
Well,
She just stayed put on a window and
It's
saw the
glass, Eddie.
piano. No, but I mean, and again, it wouldn't have helped anything because all the glass shatters and everybody fell to their death
Right,
regardless
but
of where they were.
when it's
But I
already
was still thinking,
cracking,
roll.
oh, I don't.
No, but she wasn't on the floor. She was on like the wall at that
Right.
point.
She's in a glass window. Like any little move you
Yeah.
make, you might fall through it. So like I
No,
understand the.
give me Julianne Moore. Just because of Lost World.
Yeah, and you know what I always think of, and this is so fucked up that I think of it, but I think of Janine Garofalo because they did that at the MTV Movie Awards that year. So I always imagine Janine Garofalo on the glass before I think of Julianne Moore.
Poor Julianne Moore, falling for nothing. I don't remember that. I gotta find that clip then. My Janine Garofalo falling through glass.
But
I love her so much. Anyway, go on.
I don't know if I would have to really. I've never thought about whether it's the best opening, but
Okay.
I will say, as far as sheer execution of spectacle, absolutely, like it delivers.
Yeah.
The only thing that holds me back from saying that right away is that almost every other thing to me pulls on a fear that most people could have.
Mm.
A lot of people are afraid of flying. Everyone's afraid of being in a car accident on a freeway.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't like the lack of control on a roller coaster. It wasn't until the fourth one where I'm like, people are scared of fucking racetrack accidents?
Maybe something happened. I don't know.
I do know some people that are like, oh, I don't like driving across bridges. So like, I get the fifth one.
Right.
I don't know how many people have like, gone up to a Seattle Needle type of building. So again, that's the only thing where, that's why I just didn't relate to like, oh, well, this is certainly an interesting set piece, but like what a random thing to make your focus point. That aside, the execution of everything is from a technical level, great. And then, like you said, it has something more emotional going on than just, when the fourth one's like, hey, look, here's a racist guy. Remember him? Remember where they were seated? Remember they were seated because we're going to do later. You know.
But I do have to say, like, as far as this movie, what I do like about them kind of like planting the seed is just like the things that I'm like, oh, that would give me pause too. Because it's not just being up in the sky view. It's also learning that they're 5 months ahead of schedule.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the construction of a building is 5 months ahead of schedule. A building where you can see through the floor. And if something goes wrong, you fall to your death, and you can see it the whole time. And she even asked, like, "Is that a good thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's a valid question."
Yeah, that's one of the things about the movie is that for this opening scene is it isn't just like one thing. The way, it's like even with the roller coaster, once that thing happens, a bunch of other funky little things happen, but there's got to be an inciting reason. Like there's a loose bolt, and then also the camera lands on the track, and all hell breaks loose. But it was like, okay, so there's gonna be the gas and fire, but also there's a crack in the glass floor. But also, like, how many fucking things are gonna be wrong with this? Like, there's like 3 different catalysts. Like, but at least I don't want to say the movie kind of hand waves it away, but like they put in the line that it was finished early, which is why people could just be dancing on the thing, and we could just show like bolts falling out of the support beams for the fucking building.
Maybe they wanted to explore the possibilities, though, and not just rely on that, because that is kind of bridge adjacent to the last movie. Yeah, like, you just see cables releasing.
I can relate. I'm just saying, like, not a lot of people can relate, but like I've been to the Space Needle, and I remember like getting up to the edge, going like, just looking down. And they have a glass floor, and the challenge not challenge, but like I laid down and then scooted so that I'm just like planked downward, just looking at death, And then to get back up, I'm like, oh, I have to roll and like scoot to get back to the middle of the thing. So like, it is spooky up there. Like if you're afraid of heights. Sure. I get it. Although I feel this way every time, but there's a chandelier, and along the chandelier there's these little dingly danglies.
Yes.
And one of them falls, I don't know, like 15 feet? 12 feet? And it can crack the glass floor. I call bullshit on that.
See, too many other things were working for me. I was just going to like, well, the disaster's got a disaster, so.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's not enough to ruin it for me, but I just remember going like, that dinky ass thing, like someone's earring fucking fell off and cracked the glass floor. Okay.
Well, I
I
mean,
believe like if a bolt fell out of the ceiling, go, oh shit. But like it's a fucking like an earring sized dingly dangly.
I don't know. Once he proposed, I started to well up, and I forgave everything that preceded. So, but
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
also, I mean, it's. I don't know. It's there's also other things like I like the fact that like there's a weird shot that I had, or a weird transitional shot that I had forgotten that went from kind of like the characters we're following to like just like meat being sliced and then like grenadine flooding into a glass and everything like that. And it just makes me think about like, we're just meat puppets full of blood. I don't know, it's just, that kind of attention to detail. That's fun. Like
Yeah.
like I said, it's not my franchise, but what I turn to these movies for is shit like that. Give me the symbolism. Give me
No,
the
there's
yeah.
a lot of visual just little things or little nods to the previous movies, which we'll get to in a moment. But even I forget, like the camera transitions from Bloodworth's office and like the edge of like a hard line for the edge of a shelf, which then cuts to like the hospital hallway, and it's another like edge of it. Like they're two hard edges. I'm like, that's a good transition. It isn't just like a blur.
Right.
Like there's a lot of really smart little things. There's a lot of, I mean, the opening is so premonition-y. I've got you're driving literally to Bad Moon Rising.
Yeah.
We're gonna enter to Ring of Fire. And I remember
Yes.
Tracy's like, okay, so something's gonna burn. Got it. Raindrops keep falling on my head right before people start falling. Yeah, like it's fun. And there's, I mean, I don't want to call it like foreshadow, but like you're seeing something being like flambéed, and then the next thing you see is someone cracking the creme brulee. Yeah. Like it's telling you, and a very
100%.
Like we're having fun. We're like we're not even trying to be clever with our foreshadowing here. Like we're letting you know. But okay, can I tell you what? Just because I'm such a little, my brain's such a little asshole, and I don't even know if this is true, but I was told that people didn't used to do a little bit softer now, a little bit softer now, and do the crouch. That wasn't really a thing until Animal House did it, and then everyone saw Animal House, and that became a thing. This is what people older than me told me.
Okay.
That they're like, yeah, and fucking like before Animal House, we didn't all just fucking, we didn't drop and squat, but Belushi dropped and then we all got up, and that became a thing. So when I'm watching this movie and I'm like, my elders told me this wasn't a thing in like 1962. Again, Eddie, this is how my brain works.
I know.
It's awful in here. Sometimes.
Help me. All right. I mean, it's a valid point to cite.
It's that thing like when there's like a song on the radio and people go, well, that song wasn't written yet.
Yeah.
People are driving like the 59 Chrysler and they're like, yeah, but it's like 57, so why would they have that? Like I just look at them all doing that and I'm like, Animal House hasn't come out yet. They don't know to do that.
The question is, did the filmmakers know? And obviously not.
I think they're playing on the fact that that's what people know when that song gets played.
And also, it's one thing to load the situation to make the weight like shift more. So
well, they're jumping on it like a bunch of idiots. Yeah. Like, yeah, I would, if I was at any venue that had a floor like that I would never be like, hey, let's jump. Like,
also, I mean, it's
you
such
all
a great
jump.
song.
I'm going to be at the bar.
It's such a great song. I do prefer it to the mashed potato, but they could all have been doing the mashed potato and just, swiveling, kicking their feet back and forth, making the crack bigger that way. But I don't know. It's just such a great song.
You know what's actually really great is the way the movie legitimately like builds, because we know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So the way it does the quick cross-cutting to like someone going shout and then the feet and then someone else and like all these like tilted angles, and she's got like, good job. Like this is one of the few times where like all that quick cutting is very effective and
nightmarish
and executed well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you mentioned that we're all meat puppets full of juice or whatever.
Blood.
Because one of my biggest I say juice because one of my biggest notes that I wrote and I think about this every time I watch this movie is nobody in this movie has bones. Everybody is just filled with liquid and jelly. When that dude, it's like the elevator, like he just becomes like he's just liquid.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And I'm like, wow, and I remember it's funny how like you watch a movie, but you still forget little elements. Mm-hmm. But then you go, oh, I remember I felt that way last time. So that dude got liquefied by the elevator. And I'm like, oh, yeah. that dude's made of liquid. And then when the girl's in the trash compactor, and like her arm, like there's no bones in her arm. It's just like jelly falls out, and they just pull it right off of her elbow.
Her face literally like a balloon kind of like pushes like forward.
I love that part of her cheek like splits and stuff just shoots out of it. Like I love her face breaks, but like her arm is just jelly. and that happened. I think I wrote it down for like every person that like turns into jelly. I don't know what I wrote.
God.
Oh, the logs at the end.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we're made of jelly.
We're just made of jelly.
Jelly and jam on the street, you know.
Just sacks of jam.
And then the one that hit me the most though was a little pretty beefy boy with the little eyes. He's standing by the MRI machine, and a spring from a vending machine pierced his skull so hard that like it takes off a quarter of his head, but it's just boom again. Liquid, liquid and jam,
and just spirals through and takes the entire top of the skull, like the cranium is gone.
But
and he just kind of falls.
This isn't a complaint though. It's just I kind of love that everyone's made of jam.
It adds to the cartooniness of the deaths.
This is not the first time the franchise has done that. The second movie in particular, the little kid who like shoos away the birds and then the glass plate just liquefies him.
Yeah.
And that happens like many I can't remember his name, but the little goth boy with the accent, who's kind of like the third act bad guy of Final Destination 3.
Oh yeah, him. Yeah.
You're dead. These girls, they didn't do shit. Like that guy, like that thing lands on him, he just becomes like a splatter of paint on the ground. Like there's no bones.
You're dead.
Yeah,
you're dead.
That's what he sounds like though. You're dead.
Jesus Christ.
I don't remember any. I just remember that these two girls and You're Dead. That's what stands out to me.
All right. But yeah, no, I think it. Again, it's a kinder, less gory. I mean, again, the gore is from. This is the thing. Okay, we'll go into this. With the deaths, and it happened with this movie quite a bit, like when the people would explode into jam. It makes it like fireworks, kind of like the finale of You're Dead. But because I remember in the theater for this movie, I was sitting there with my sister, and the things would happen, and the entire audience, we would all in unison just go, "Whoa!" Just because, wow, that's an intense thing that just happened. But it's not an intense thing in the sense that you're like flinching or uncomfortable or thinking about your own mortal coil. It's just because, damn, that person exploded. Like it's as simple as that. And then you move on to the next thing. There's very little mourning, and there's very little, but, so I mean, I guess that's kind of that franchise by and large kind of like keys into that. It's rare that the threat, I mean, usually interestingly enough, I think like the most effective threats, like the things that seem to like make people the most uncomfortable as opposed to the most pow wow enthusiastic, are the smallest things. Like I always go back to that tack on the balance beam.
Oh yeah, so good.
All I have to do is think about that. Now, the payoff is cartoony as fuck and still kind of visceral. You're just looking like, oh, but you just see the tack and speculating about her stepping on that tack. I remember squirming. I remember other people just going, in my audience. And with this one, maybe the squirmiest things are the things that have to do with the piercings, I'd say.
Oh, really? Because I feel like, the rake under the trampoline and the piece of glass.
That just made me mad. The rake, well, the glass I'm traumatized by, but the rake just makes me mad because I'm like, okay, that's so easily avoidable. That's like death didn't even need like to do anything. You all are stupid.
That's why I think it's fun that again the movie kind of plays and tweaks little preconceptions that we have from previous 5 movies. I love that the mom's like, wait, let me move the rake out of the way. You're like, this is different, and then it's still. ends
No,
up
I was
being,
just kind of like, shouldn't have been there in the first place. I was very angry. Y'all are gonna just, and this is the thing, because there's like full daylight underneath the trampoline. It's not like it's got like, like a covering
I mean,
around it so you don't remember if you stored anything underneath it so you can just go jump on it like in the middle of the day. The fact that there's like pure daylight, you can see everything that's underneath it easily, and no one is checking. Everybody's just like, hey, let's be a bunch of idiots and jump on this
well,
fucking trampoline.
his
If I
name,
get cut, so what? I hate these people because
well,
of that.
I kind of chalk it. Is Bobby a himbo?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I
an
just chalk it up to him
innocent.
being a himbo.
At best, he's an innocent, and at worst, he's probably a himbo. Yeah,
Yeah. He's a sweet himbo, but a himbo
he's a sweet,
nonetheless.
a lovable himbo. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I just chalk it up to that. Like that little dummy's not gonna look under the trampoline.
But the whole
I
family is there.
love that. Well,
No,
first of
the
all,
dad is the first one to go jumping on the fucking
okay.
trampoline.
So he's 25. He was probably 24 when they filmed it. But I
Uh-huh.
love seeing like what to me looks like an adult man be like, "Hey, Dad, come on the trampoline." I'm like, "You're in your 20s. Like, what energy?" I could see like a 12-year-old boy going, "Hey, Dad,
Yeah, yeah.
show me your backflip." But I love that he's
But it's
like
like the family's
24.
back together.
And that to me is
Let's.
one of his most himbo moments. He's like, "Come on, Dad, show me your backflip." I love him. I think he's adorable.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But okay. So while we're there, though, because you did mention the glass, that's the thing is that like, okay, here we go.
Mhm.
Seeing it in the trailer made me all cringy, and it's going to be at the back of my mind forever, just in terms of ice and glass, ice and glass. Because I mean, look what I'm doing. There's ice in this glass. I am tempting fate as we speak. But I remember when I watched the movie, I was just kind of like, oh, I thought this was going to be like a bigger deal. It's kind of just like one thing that happens while the trampoline's happening and while the hose is filling up with I don't even remember what anymore. And then just like multiple threats going on while Steph's kind of putting it together and then decides to finally join her family and is there almost instantaneously. Yeah, that was one of those moments where I was just kind of like, oh, yeah, this was better when I didn't know that the lawnmower thing happened. So I guess I'm lucky I didn't see that trailer because then the whole thing might have just been kind of like
Yeah. I
untensified
mean, you,
for me.
none of anything, everything you just said doesn't really like. Final, all the other Final Destinations, like again, there's attack, but we're gonna go to over here, or like there's a ceiling fan and we're cutting with the busted chair in the salon, but it turns out it's just a rock that's outside. Like there's there's more than one kind of kill, but one of the kills is all the build up to fuck you. It's this thing over here. Um, so like I spent the whole scene going, oh, the rake, the glass, the rake, the glass. Oh, it's the lawnmower. Got it. Like I've been here. This is a Final Destination movie.
Yeah.
N-
Okay.
yeah.
Didn't work for me as well as others have.
I mean, I
Even
like. Oh, sure, not at all. Yeah, but if anything, the thing that threw me off was, we're cross cutting to Steph reading the book and like figuring it all out.
uh,
And again, I don't remember everything so clearly as the last time. So when she comes, I'm thinking, oh, you're gonna get to the house, and I thought she was gonna like when she runs into that yard.
yeah.
If I'm making this, or if I'm her, the first thing I say is like, everyone, like, get off the grass, like, just stop what you're doing and fucking come over here, please.
Mm,
But she kind of just shows up, and everything just sort of happens, and she
yeah.
just watches it. I'm like, oh man, like you just read
Yeah.
that book that literally like has drawings of
Yeah. But
like
that's
you
how I
just
feel about everyone in that family in that scene. Like I'm saying, like nobody's checking underneath to see if the rake is there. And then when finally the mom does, it's like, well, I know something else is going to happen.
well, then they
It's
all
not
have it coming.
It's not like it was in the fourth movie, wasn't it? Where the mom took her two boys and they were playing in the park outside while the guy was mowing the lawn and she went in to get her hair cut.
Yep.
And yeah, and then they spend the whole time playing that. But the thing is, like, they continually found other things to interest me, to get me to form opinions about the people. Like the fact that, like, they were, what, like 5 minutes till closing and she was begging and pleading because it's girls' night out. And I'm like, your hair looks fine. You're going to look fine for your girls' night out. Like, what I don't get what the big deal is, and then they finally bend and give her the flip off, and she even gets attitude from the girl who doesn't want to be cutting her hair. But then the second she's the customers like put in danger, immediately the hairdresser's just like, oh my God, I am so sorry. Like we're two human beings and everything like that. Things like that continually interested me. With this, it was just kind of like, hey, we're all family and we're happy. No, and then that was it. Like that was it. And I couldn't get on board with anyone in that scene. So maybe that's where it was lacking for me for every character. I was just kind of like, I don't have a way in here. I'm not rooting for anybody. I'm not rooting for bad things to happen to them, but I'm not going like, oh, I'm tense.
Well, I'm almost never like I'm never that rooted. I just like I'm evil. I just want to watch you fucks die. Like very rarely do I watch a Final Destination movie, get invested in characters, and get invested in attention.
No, but see, then we go back to like.
But between you and me, you've always
yeah
managed to like get in with characters and emotionally more than I have.
The interpersonal is usually my way in.
Yes, but you can and also there's something just fucked up about me that I tend to sometimes be a half step removed, and you tend to like step in, and it takes something to get me a little more in. So
yeah, I get that. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, when we won't linger on it because we're talking about this movie, but just like Final Destination 3, just watching the two survivors with their not spouses, but their significant others who didn't make it, and just watching the two of them kind of compare notes and make discoveries about each other and lies that were told and things like that. And yet one of them is still showing up and trying to be a good person and being a better person than any of us thought he was at the top of the movie. And she's starting to like kind of crumble, but we know there's this inner strength in her. Like all of that shit. Like I needed a little bit more of that, because that's where I feel like Steph is severely underwritten as a character. I feel like she's told continually like what she's doing wrong and where she's failing. And I think she even knows where she's failing where other people don't. Like the fact that, okay, she told her brother that she was on a probationary period with her scholarship or whatever, and if she doesn't bring her grades up, she's going to lose it. And then she doesn't tell her aunt or her uncle when she's trying to get these dreams tackled with them. Like, you know what? They might help you if they know what's at stake here. Why are you not like, that's where, again, like the kind of interpersonal, I could use a little tweak. Like you did it. You did kind of like the exoskeleton of like the scene that needs to exist here. And it's there enough to get us from A to B. But I am not dialed in on a level where I'm just kind of like, oh, I really wish she would just ask for help, the way I am with someone like Elizabeth.
I forget what she says, but she says something to the aunt about how like it's affecting me or something, but she doesn't get into it.
Yeah.
My problem with that scene is she then just says please, and then the aunt, and I'm like, oh, I needed something to happen. I needed to hear something in her voice or a camera to push in, but like nothing changed. She made her statement. She said no. She says please, and then she says yes. And I'm like, oh, I see how I'm scripting this, but that moment never.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it, whatever. I'm not the director, but.
But you're a moviegoer. You can have an opinion.
I can have my opinions.
Yeah.
While we're on the subject of Steph, not necessarily my favorite. I do. Okay, so there's something that I do like about maybe not her, but the fact that. Because there's, again, there's some pretty major differences, and we'll probably keep coming back to it. But the fact that this opens not with our heroine getting on a plane or getting on something, but like, and then the gang of people she's with are all being targeted by death in the order they would have died. Not only do we not do that, but like, she's seeing someone else's premonition.
Yeah.
And we're literally starting a movie where just like, here's a character, and she's got a dilemma. We don't normally have that. Like, it's a whole different entry point. She has like there's no tragedy, but it's for her, it's a mystery.
Right.
It's an issue that needs to be solved. And out of 6 movies, this is the first time they've ever done that. So that immediately makes you go, oh, okay, well, this is different. She's not grieving. She didn't survive a tragedy. She's not trying to, like, Devon Sawa focus her way out of it. She's not grieving her way out of it. Like, here's a whole other thing. And I at first, like, lean in, but then the movie kind of keeps going, and I'm like, oh, but we're not. It's an interesting premise setup. It's a good setup. I want to be on board with you more about this mystery to solve, but because it is a new entry point, and then we get it's the only thing I relate to her is after she's talked to Iris and she gets the book and then she thinks she understands everything.
Hmm.
That thing where like, hey, there's something here.
Right.
Listen to me.
Right.
Believe me. No one believes me. Like that part. Okay, well done. And
Yeah.
I am happy that they didn't spend too fucking long with no one believing her. Like, oh no, okay. Like pretty
Yeah.
quickly, like the aunt fucks off and her dad fucks off, but everyone else is like, let's go fix this.
Right.
Oh, great. Fucking great. I love this.
Yeah.
I love in movies when like people believe the kids.
Me too. Me too. 100%. But also, this thing is like, it's not even about like the job that the actress does, because I really do like that actress who plays Steph. I'd love to see her in something else. But because also, again, I feel like whatever. I don't know if these were things that were scripted that just weren't included in the final cut, or if she just did a hell of a lot of back work, background backstory, like work and everything like that, just to kind of like fill in the blanks so she would have something to play from scene to scene. Because I believe that the character is in whatever kind of dire straits she's expressing whenever she's expressing it. And it all seems like, authentic and all of that. So I can't criticize her. I do think it's just the way the character is presented to us, like one moment after another. But the thing is, I agree with you as far as the entry point, because I really did, after that opening, I had such an affinity for Iris that I felt like we kind of lost her. That thing that sometimes happens where you cast two actors to play the same role happened for me, where I didn't see Iris as the grandmother and connect it with the Iris from the opening sequence. I
Oh,
didn't
really?
think, yeah, I had there was something I bumped up against. I felt like there was something missing, and I don't know if it was like one way or the other, like either just kind of like a more inherent sweetness or a more kind of like melodic, angelic kind of like quality to her, or in the other direction, like kind of like a harder edge that she's learned. They tried like by making her curse and shit and making her kind of like talking to death and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I wish there'd been a little bit more of an effort. Or at least if the filmmakers could have watched it and go like, there's something missing that's connecting that character with this character. Oh, and also, okay, because this is another thing. I didn't think this. I don't think I thought this the first time I watched the movie. I definitely thought it this time. I got Laurie Strode 2018 from
Oh,
from Iris being like in the compound and the I can't let anyone in. Okay, I'll let you in. And then like just sitting down and I'm going to tell you the story because that's my job as a character who survived. Only she didn't even have, again, because of the connectivity issue and because like even the way she communicated her story, I guess she didn't have to because the granddaughter had already, but even if I don't know, even if it could have been more of an exchange of like, it's not that this might be too ET, but I didn't just remember your memories. I felt your feelings. I felt your fear. And that's what I'm feeling right now. Just more things. Get me on board. Enrich the link between these two people who are discovering that they have a link for the first time that is beyond bloodlines, so that bloodlines now just becomes a word. Make it about like, this psychic connection that they have, and like, they don't have to figure out why it's happening. I like the fact that that Iris even tells her like, maybe you're getting them because I have cancer. Maybe you're getting but I don't know. But the thing is, now that you have it, you need these tools. And again, even it just kind of felt like the movie needed to movie, so that's why Steph runs away from it. I'm like, are you?
yeah.
I didn't buy that either.
It
Is she gonna run away at this juncture and start? You came this far and now you're gonna
right.
turn your back on it, bitch? Come on, buy
And
buy it.
I normally don't want too much of an exposition dump, especially because this movie is full of expository scenes,
Oh yeah,
and it's like an hour and 53 minutes.
yeah,
But I could have used a lot more explaining in that scene from Iris
yeah,
because she doesn't help Steph understand really at all. So when she read, it's just like, here, just take this book. It's all in there. I'm like, wait, you've been in this for decades. She
yeah.
comes to you and you just quickly say, oh, it's all in the book. Just fucking, you figure it out. Fuck. Give me these two women in a scene like are understanding each other.
Yeah. And also just the
I mean,
fact
I
that
do think
like
it's a funny beat where it's like, oh, you don't believe me? Well, just wait a second. You'll believe me. Like
right,
that's a funny gag. That's,
I mean, again, was it
but
structured perfectly? No, it could have been loaded so much more, and it could have made her sacrifice some, I don't know, just more potent to try and prove it. Like, my work is done. I'm just going to spend the rest of my life being afraid now, so I may as well just do this to prove something to her. It's there, but it's not there in an ideal way for me.
no.
And the thing that pisses me off after that, it's related to Steph again, is then they go to this funeral for Iris, and the second her mother shows up, she turns her back on her and she wants to leave. And that's when she has the exchange with, I always want to call him Junior, because Charlie, her
From
brother, is
Chucky.
Junior from Chucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I love that I recognize him instantly. I'm just kind of like, oh, he's getting so big.
Yeah. Because we don't get to see him, spoiler alert for Chucky, we don't get to see him
Right.
age through season 2 and 3.
But anyway, I love the fact that oh no, I love the fact that he's there. But what I don't love is the fact that like again, she seems to be leaving because the script wants her to, and because she needs to feel betrayal from her mother. And I'm just kind of like, well, this wait, wait. I thought wait, so the grandma is ostracized and you're being warned about her, and yet your uncle is opening his arms to your mother, but now you're the one who's all chilly and just kind of like, no, I don't want to have anything to do with her. Haven't you learned from encountering your grandmother and realizing that your uncle was wrong to turn his back on her? The fact that nobody even points this out to her, like there's an opportunity for her to see that, like this, they try, like, but with Junior saying, like, like just it's not that you. Something like it's not that you hate us or that you're trying to hurt us or something like that. It's just that you don't care.
Hmm.
Everything about that, I'm just kind of like, oh, this is kind of half baked. I wish I understood why the antithesis, aside from like, okay, so she abandoned you, but you haven't learned enough to understand maybe why that might have happened. You're still playing the rejected child, like who's not ready to. It just felt like that. Well, I don't think that's who this character is. She's supposed to have the character who has premonitions is the prime character to attempt at least to have insight to the people around her and to try and gather the family together so they can, you know, protect each other. And so I don't know, everything about it just felt wrong to me, and it felt like she needs to turn her back on something, so she does. We write it. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I hear you, and I understand what you're saying. I never really thought about that when I
Okay.
watched it. Something rubbed me the wrong, but yeah, earlier stuff we were talking about with her and Iris in the house, yeah, but that funeral scene, I'm probably gonna be thinking about that the next time I watch it,
Right, right.
because again, every time little bits of my joy erode and little kind of cracks. I go, oh, huh,
Yeah, just kind of contrived drama is what it felt like,
yeah. There, yeah, and I appreciate the fact that you're trying to do something more than the other movies, but like
Yeah,
you really got to actually go for it,
yeah.
and some of this is really half baked, and I have my own problems with that are different from your problems with
Yeah.
Iris and all that.
Okay.
One of the first things that I have a problem with is when they get to the Iris's house, and they make such a big deal about how like, well, death, like the only safe place is here. Me and Bloodworth fortified this place, but within fucking Steph's first time in there, the little magnifying glass gets a sunbeam and it starts burning a thing. Like, well, how safe can any of this shit be if like that's gonna fucking kill you right now? What do you mean?
And
Like you're
again,
not safe in that house. They just show me you're not safe in that house. But the text of the movie, I hate, not to get all like Batman v Superman on you, but like I hate when the texts and what you're actually seeing are complete odds with each other. And like you can't tell me this house is safe when it's not.
well, again, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to pinpoint her sharpness, the fact that like the
Right.
second something's out of
To
alignment,
do it outside.
but yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just it. I see. I want to say this, over and over to the screenplay. I see where you're going. I see what you're trying to achieve. You didn't quite achieve it.
Yes.
You did because you got me from A to B. There are other One more revision.
Yeah,
Just
in here
one
we
more
can be
draft.
safe. Yeah, yeah.
One
Yeah.
more draft.
Maybe they go into her backyard and you go, oh, okay. But like in here we can be safe, you know. I
Also,
love
she
the
has a
idea
lot of
because,
hard edges in her place. Like,
yeah,
why would you have metal in there?
Clear was safer in the asylum.
100%.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no, I agree with you. Like, I love the idea of a scene where she's like out smarting and talking to death. Great idea, but yeah, not in there. The other
yeah,
thing too is it's maybe not so much about the scene, but just like the idea. It's funny how our brains can misremember things. But I watched this and I remember for some reason in my head the reason why Steph is having her grandmother's vision
mm,
is because when her grandmother got diagnosed with, and she says, I got diagnosed 2 months ago. I thought it's because death is like, oh, shit, well, I'm out. I have to
right,
go target someone else in your family.
yeah,
Like, I'm not saying like, but it's like when Predator won't kill someone who's, unarmed. In fact, in one of them, like someone's got cancer and he's like, oh, I'm going to leave you
yeah,
alone. I just x-rayed your chest and
yeah. Nature took care of you.
which I actually prefer to this because it's like, oh wait, it's not that. It's Death's still trying to kill her. I'm like, fuck you. Like we were talking about Death's a bitch. Like, man,
Yeah.
she's dying of cancer and you're still playing magnifying glass games in her house. What an asshole.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, if I was writing this, I'd be like, well, if she's dying of cancer, why would Death still be trying to get her? I don't like that.
Okay,
And
that makes
to
sense
me,
to me.
and to me, that's a good reason for the vision to be going to her. But now it
Right,
goes
right.
back to like, well, why is it? And I respect the movie tries to bring it up. They go, why is it? So, and I like that she says, but it makes no sense to me. I don't know if I actually wrote the line down or not.
Mm.
Like maybe it's because my cancer passed it on to you. I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry, say that sentence again, please. I'm trying to understand how that works.
I think it's because it's like, well,
I mean,
death is still after me, but I'm no longer the primary focus. It's spreading onto
right.
somebody else because it
But
knows whether it gets
sure.
me or whether I just kind of expire naturally. Like I'm on the way out. It's got me on the back burner, but
Right.
it wants another
Well,
premium, primary
well, Death
focus.
likes to play with its food.
Yeah,
All the
100.
movies.
In
You
these
know,
movies, yes.
yes, that was one of the things people have always wondered is like, why do people have premonitions in the movies? And I kind of like what the directors of this said because they have their own theory. They're not confirming for them, but they're like, that Death could just kill them, but Death would rather have some fun. Let's give them permission, see if they can beat me or not.
Right.
And I just don't understand why, like in this case, well, if she's next, why am I even giving the premonition to someone else? And like you said, like she's like, either my cancer gave it to you, or maybe Death's just having fun. I go, oh right, yeah, like maybe, and I'm like, okay. At first I was like, sure, that Death's fucking around. That's been fucking around for 5 other movies. I
Hmm.
buy that, but then my brain started to overthink it, and I said, well, yeah, if it was like Steph's issue. Like
Hmm.
if it was Steph getting onto a plane and she had a premonition for a plane, but like, what is Steph having her grandmother's vision from the 60s do to or for her, both in the bigger picture of the movie and in Death's plan? Like, I don't understand. It's just like, it's not a new event. It's an old event that never happened. All it does is get Steph to visit her family, but like, that's not. Why would Death do that? Why is this happening? And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
It's an excuse to do something different with the opening. Like but like what's the bigger, like that's not good enough. Like I get from the filmmaker's standpoint, we want to do something different. We want to have Iris die and Steph go what? But like make it make sense. And unfortunately, the movie doesn't make it make sense. Not in a mysterious way, like in any way.
Well, also, this is the thing. Does a new disaster have to happen?
I mean, I guess not, but
Like,
but what's that's agenda then?
well, that's the thing. It's just to continue the
Gosh,
line.
I'm gonna
Because
flunk her out of school. Like she's not getting a lot of sleep.
no, not even like I'm gonna flunk her out of school, but just like I'm gonna. How about this? Like, oh,
Huh?
Because Iris is on the way out and could be gone any day now. Now there is a deadline. There's a ticking clock. So in order for Death to adequately be able to kind of like lock horns with whoever is having the premonition,
I
they need to get back in touch with the original. Why it has
okay.
to be that way, I don't know. But just so they can find out their backstory and get in touch with her, then everything can become clear as far as the book and the connections and the this and the that. And this person can warn everyone in their family, which is more fun for Death because I think Death likes it better if you're afraid, or even if you don't believe, and then all of a sudden ridiculous shit is happening to you for seemingly no reason. And then
Okay.
in the moment before you die, you know that Death has you. You know that I was wrong. Death is fucking with me,
I
and I
think
should have believed earlier and helped out.
I
The
could almost get on board with that. At
yeah.
first, when you were talking about that, I'm like, no, because even like, okay, let's say, oh, she's on her way out. She could die at any moment. I need
Mhm.
my new Devon Sawa. I need my new adversary.
Right.
Why show her grandma's fucking fictional 60-year-old flashback to begin with? Like, that still doesn't do anything for her or for Death in this game. But then
Hmm.
I'm like, well, no, I guess by showing her that, it puts her on the path to be like, well, why my grandma? And
Hmm.
when, because here's every other thing, every other uh, precognition, whatever the fuck we want to call it, premonition,
Yeah.
shows the order in which these people will die in the
Yeah.
accident.
Yeah.
Well, there is an accident, someone else's fucking accident.
Hmm.
But if I get her to visit her grandma can explain to her the rules of this thing, which is family, 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 family. And
Yeah.
that's the order. Either she'll explain to her or she'll just shove a book in her chest and go, hey, you'll figure it out. But either way, the data gets put. But I'm like, all right, is that a bit of a stretch? But like, no, I need someone, since there is no
Uh-huh.
catalytic event,
Yeah.
the only way for her to figure out an order and play my little game is she has to talk to her grandma.
Right. And her
Okay.
grandma has to die in order for it to be passed on to the next person as well, which is probably why Death is fucking with her, because it's just kind of like, maybe I might just decide to take you out. Because this is the thing, once the book has been passed on, I think Grandma knows this, Iris knows this, once she hands the book over, Death doesn't need her anymore. So you're out. Because now the information has been given, and now the trauma can be spread to the other members of the family. Because this is the thing, also,
Oh,
death, death could have obviously, like Iris has to sleep sometime, so Death could have just chosen to like do that little magnifying glass thing while Iris was, or
oh
something
yeah.
akin to that, while Iris was asleep, burned down the entire cottage. It could have started with a forest fire at the other end of the hill and just burns over and just catches her before dawn. But I think again, Death doesn't want to prey upon unsuspecting people if the chain is already, or like the domino effect is already put into motion. And because it is, because of all of those people, all of those kind of family trees that needed to be taken out kind of one at a time, Grandma's the last one who dies in that fucking premonition. So I think Death was focusing on all those other families first. In their cascading order. Now that it's got Iris, it's like, okay, time to work on I don't remember what their last names are, but time to work on the Maitlands, like whoever they are. Time
That's
and
stupid.
and Grandma's the first one, and then after Grandma, it's got to be so and so and so and so and so and so. And because there's a warning, Death can go a little bit, chuckle a little bit more easily. Like I always imagine Death is just kind of around the corner going, like
Like
just kind of going
Muttley?
like if you do believe, then you're going to be scared as fuck because I'm real, and if you don't believe, I'm gonna make you believe. That's what I think Death is like in these fucking movies.
Okay.
I missed the shadow from the first movie though. Do you remember when there used to be like a shadow
Yeah, well
over
that's
things?
I mean the whole franchise has shifted, but that's another one of the big things that I actually did miss from this.
Yeah.
But only the first movie had the shadow.
Yeah.
No, first movie, Devon Sawa would piece together these little premonitions before a death would happen.
Yeah.
Like a magazine would fall into a fan and some letters would spell out somebody's
Right.
name.
Right.
Second movie was like, oh, they're gonna see little visual clues, like we're gonna see the silhouette of like a hook, and I'm like,
Yeah.
a hooked man is gonna come and do something.
Hmm.
Third movie really ratcheted up. They went full The Omen, where it's like, oh, every photo we took that night shows like a weird
Yeah.
visual clue, like a light or a shadow.
Right.
Fourth movie went fucking nuts with just like, I don't know, here's a CGI vision. We're just gonna show you thingies. Five didn't do fucking anything. So six also goes, we're not gonna do fucking anything. There is an argument to be made that even though the main boy doesn't have any premonitions in five before
Hmm.
each death kind of is mirrored by how they died in the bus, sort of. Like the dude who gets oil in the face also gets like his face smashed. So
Oh,
like,
okay.
but those. So if you wanted, if he remembered, he could. But I'm just saying. Anyway, I for some reason in five I didn't really miss the premonitions, but in this movie I was very like, oh, like the only one is when the very beginning when she's reading the book and the
Right.
picture falls and a little piece of glass slides over.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, and then we never do it again. But I did miss whatever that little thing would be where we go, oh,
Yeah, like I don't remember. Yeah, you're right. I don't remember her getting any premonition about like her mom and how she got taken out.
no, they don't do it in this movie at all.
No, they don't. But you're right though. In five, like I didn't miss it. In five, there was something else that was going on that I can't describe right now because I need to rewatch the movie. But I just
Well, I
remember
mean,
thinking I was so dialed in every step of that movie that
yeah, because five's surprisingly good.
yeah, it really is.
Well, I
This
mean,
one,
but five is driven by again an event
yeah,
with a death pattern,
yeah,
so we're following that, and then there's two other things at odds. One is that Bloodworth explains to them that you can kill someone
yeah,
and get their time, which was like a new wrinkle. We're like, oh, because that one dude was at the plant, and like the guy falls to his death, and we're like, oh,
yeah,
so there's like a third act villain. We're like, oh, we're doing something different.
yeah.
That dude who looks like Brandon Routh and Tom Cruise is like trying to kill us.
That
Like,
that morphed version of
yeah,
the
like
two.
if they fucked and
Yeah.
if their two sperms made a butt baby, like,
Oh,
yeah.
poor Brandon Routh. Poor Brandon Routh having babies with Tom Cruise. Anyway,
And then the other element to that movie is unlike a lot of the other ones, there actually is kind of like a relationship between our lead and his girlfriend.
right.
Like, wants to go to school in
Hmm.
Paris, and like they have a relationship, and like I'm kind of rooting for them. Like,
Yeah.
that's the movie that to me has some of the most, that and three, with like our exes died, now we're stuck with each other. I
Yeah.
kind of didn't
Yeah.
like you, but
Yeah.
there's stuff driving five emotionally, so that maybe you don't notice the way we notice this time and we miss it.
Well, because the emotional heart of it is, I feel like at best expedited, and at worst, just like I said before, half-baked, underwritten. Even like when her mom, you mentioned before, like her mom making her disclosure to her about like what motivated her to leave and everything like that. I just wrote, the disclosure is fine, just a little on the nose, like basically explicitly saying this is what happened and this is how I feel about it. Like it's like again, another draft might have worked in some nuance and some
Mm-hmm.
poetry, some personal details that hook us in that make us think, "Oh, I felt that way before." But instead it's just like you said, an exposition dump from mother to daughter that again, watching the actress playing Steph, she receives it in a way where I'm just kind of like, I buy that this is affecting you and that you're actually kind of seeing, I see it in her face, that she's recognizing the parallel between her and her mother in terms of like pushing people away. We still don't know why Steph ever pushed anyone away, but she's almost playing it like, I don't know why I've been pushing people away, but maybe it's because of my bloodlines. And that's,
Yeah, it's a
that's a
vague
fault of the
idea.
writing. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand the whole thing about like you don't want to become your parents,
Yeah.
and she's becoming her mother, but we don't really
Uh,
lean into it. We just sort of vaguely gesture at that idea,
And she
and
doesn't
and,
really
and
avoid it. There's no real reason why she avoids it outside of like, well, she starts to embrace her family, the ones who are still alive at the end of the movie, I guess, going to her brother's prom and, or prom send off and
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
You're just kind of like, oh, I guess everything's
she's
fine now.
yeah. I was gonna say, well, now I'm in his life,
Yeah.
and I guess enough time has passed that like his dad, like we're not I kind of complained about the first movie that like Devon Sawa isn't remotely sad enough for me. But like,
Oh,
but I don't know how many. I mean, we had a whole conversation about it. You can go back and watch it if you want.
eh.
But
I
but
forgot. I forgot. It's been a
yeah,
minute.
yeah. No,
It's
you
been
you
5
you
years.
you justified all his actions as like post traumatic. Like I have
Yeah.
focus.
Right,
I don't
right,
have
right, right,
time to be
right, right.
sad. I'm focused, and I'm
Well,
like,
also because he had that cathartic thing when he
yeah,
came home from the plane. He embraced. He's the only character who like falls into the arms of his parents crying. I love that shit. Anyway,
okay, yeah.
go
But
ahead.
anyway, but I forget what we were saying. But
We were sorry. We were talking about everything with her mom being resolved, or not with her
oh
mom,
yeah,
but
yeah.
everything with her. Yeah, with
Like
her. Yeah.
I presume enough time has passed between him asking his date to the prom and then on prom that like, yeah, we don't need them to just be all mopey that everybody died. Like we're still going to prom, but like
Mhm.
we don't know like how is the aunt? I don't fucking know. Dad seems all right. His kid's going to prom and like Steph's there,
Yeah.
but is she there because she flunked out of school? We're not going to answer that question.
No, and it would have been
The whole
nice.
the whole opening scene with like her roommate being like, "You're driving me nuts." Like we're not going to answer that.
And
And
again,
turns out
yeah.
we don't need to answer it because she's about to have a log fall on her in a minute.
It doesn't even matter. But
Kinda.
because there's also
The
another
movie
thing.
seems to say.
There was something that I didn't notice the first time around. I don't think that I noticed this time. Again, the picture was better. But when she woke up from her nightmare, I noticed that she had like a row of stuff like on her desk or something. And one of the things that I saw was a giant bottle that read melatonin on it. And
Mm.
then later, I think it's when she's talking to her aunt. Is she the one who advised her to take melatonin if she was having trouble
I
sleeping?
think so. Yeah.
And there was something about that where I had a reaction when I saw the melatonin just on just where I'm just kind of like, oh, girl, you should not be taking that. It's not going to help your bad dreams. And you could be doing shit in your sleep you're not even conscious of. And it's not prescribed, it's over the counter. You can get it for yourself, but not enough people know the consequences, like not the symptoms, but like the
Side
reactions.
effects.
Side effects, thank you, that you can have. It's not even a side
Well,
effect, like it is a
first of
full on
all,
effect.
not everybody's different. For example,
Yeah,
I take melatonin. It has no effect on me aside from I go to sleep.
good for
It's
you.
like, yeah, for what it's supposed to do, it does for me. It doesn't give me weird dreams. It just makes me sleepy, and I wake up feeling fine.
I've sleptwalked on
Other
melatonin.
people have, yeah,
Yeah.
just like, yeah, so people are different. So,
Well, so anyway, I was worried about her, and then later when her aunt said that to her, I was just kind of like, no, we can't just. It's really funny. I was kind of like, no, you can't just tell her she's already taking it. Obviously, it's not having any kind of effect. Can these people please just have a dialogue? Just actually talk about what's going on. And this was after her not disclosing the fact that, like, I'm going to lose my fucking scholarship if I don't get my
right.
act together. So it was just all of this stuff being left out. And I'm just kind of like, don't tell her that. I guess it worked in getting me worked up about the movie, but it did piss me off because I started thinking about the writing as opposed to thinking about these people interacting, which is what I should be
Yeah.
thinking about.
Yeah, there was all these sorts of little things that I remember I thought about the first time I saw it, and now that I'm watching it, and again, I can enjoy all the things that I enjoy, but I keep thinking about all these other, then they pop out. Like this time, I really had a reaction because I remember, and the actress's last name, the girl who plays Steph, her name is Caitlin Santawana.
Mm,
When she walks on screen, I go, Hispanic.
right.
She goes home, and her dad's Asian. I go, okay.
Hmm.
Well, her mom must be, and then her mom's just like, white. Okay, stop overthinking it. Don't be critical. Like maybe she's adopted, and then it's like, no, she's definitely not adopted. It's
Yeah.
crucial to the plot that she's of this
Yeah.
bloodline.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just
so
thought she was Filipino.
well, that's what I'm getting at. So
Oh, okay.
I'm overthinking it. I did right before this episode check. She's half Filipino,
Yeah.
and then her brother I think is also Filipino,
Okay.
and then the dad is like a Pacific Islander.
Because Junior was mixed race in Chucky too, so yeah.
Yeah, no, she's mixed. She's like half Norwegian and like half, but they're both like I think half Filipino, and the dad's like Asian Pacific Islander.
Yeah.
I go, all right, all
Yeah.
right. Having said all that, though, when she gets to Iris's,
Yeah.
granted, Steph's mom has like little eyes.
Yeah.
When she first meets Iris, and Iris goes, oh, I can see your mother in you. I'm like, you can? Your mother's white. She's Hispanic with huge eyes. Your mom's got squinty little eyes. What are you talking about? You could see her mother in you. Get out of here. That line makes no sense to me if that's who you're going to cast.
You didn't. You thought it was purely aesthetic and didn't have anything to do with her spirit or the way she.
Correct, because they've only met each other for like 10 seconds, Eddie.
But you can sometimes someone can have a revelatory moment when you.
Oh,
meet
I guess
them.
you're right, because her mom was acting crazy for like 10 years and ran away.
She's just like, oh my God, you're batshit, just like your mother.
Like, does your roommate hate you? You're up all night screaming? You abandoned your brother? Okay. I can see your mother in you. Thank you, Eddie. You've helped me.
Now we've checked.
Yeah, we have silly me, but I don't know. That's maybe I'm very surface level. It's like, God damn.
Yeah, I know.
Katie's got a problem too. It's just whenever you spend 6 or 7 movies talking about how Harry Potter's got his mother's eyes, and then you cast a girl with fucking brown eyes in the flashbacks. What the fuck's going on? You know. So
I've been having issues with eye colors of people when they're younger and then older for years and years.
I just revisited. Very recently on the one night only Dolby Digital release of Batman, one of the most infamous, young Jack Napier with the piercingest blue eyes, or green eyes, and then we hard cut to like Nicholson with brown eyes. It's.
Oh, and even Michael Keaton, because he's got blue eyes, and little Bruce Wayne has the biggest shoe button brown eyes. Yeah. I've ever seen in a flashback.
I never even think about that, just because the Nicholson one just so dominates like the conversation.
The thing about that too is that just sidebar, that Jack Napier in the flashback is so epitomally perfect for a Joker.
Yeah.
Cast him immediately.
His face shape.
His voice is 2 octaves lower than Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson never spoke in that voice. Tell me, kid, you ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight? And even his smile, I'm just kind of like, again, perfect for a Joker. But there's no Jack Nicholson going on in there at all.
No, not whatsoever.
Yeah.
I always, this is maybe my brain doing the work. I always thought that like in his flashback, he's adding weight to the voice. It's also very echoey. I'm like, that alley will not have an echo. Like, and the other guy's like, "Come on, Jack, let's go! Come on, let's go!" So
everything in that memory, everything in that memory has
his
echo.
movement. It's all like I think it might be a slightly different frame rate. The pearls are falling. I thought it's heightened dramatization is what I was chalked it up to.
Still bothers me, but because he's not imagining something, he's remembering something. So I think that's what bothers me. Yeah. But I mean, again, memories, and after a certain point, I mean, how old is Bruce Wayne at that point in present day? Like, how well do we remember things, even though we think we do? Like, do we really? Best thing we can do is kind of like pinpoint how we felt. Speaking of how we feel, I welled up at the proposal in the beginning of this, but I full on wept. I think you know where I'm going with this. Tony Todd.
Oh my God, the Tony Todd of it all.
Okay.
Wait, let me just ask before you say anything. Do you know the story about his last lines?
No, but I feel like I'll understand. If it's what I'm anticipating, then doesn't everyone? But go ahead.
Like, there were some scripted last lines.
Right.
Which they filmed takes of. Okay. But then they did one more take where they're like, hey, just like say what you want. Like whatever.
It feels like it.
Because they didn't know like, oh, you're gonna die in a few months, but they did know this is gonna be your last Final Destination movie. Yeah. Like we are saying goodbye to your character. Yeah. We already know you weren't in good health coming on board to this. Yeah. So they said say whatever you want. And then he also chose to say something that speaks directly to the fans as well as within the scene. So he's saying that to you.
I know. And I felt
and that's the take they used.
Yeah. Once you have that,
Yeah.
like you're gonna go, we don't need it. Fuck you. Oh my God. See,
Yeah.
so
No,
that's something they definitely got right.
that's all him.
It's so incredibly beautiful because it's not like it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. It's not like it doesn't work contextually for that character because already we've gained more insight than to him and his character than we have in any movie prior because he's always just been kind of like that mysterious man with the low voice. He's the Jack Napier of this
But
of
he
this
never
franchise,
but he
but he
never
never
needed post-production audio tweaking.
and he never needed to kill anybody either. But but no. So the fact that like already there is like a sentimental layer built in because whether you're like my sister and you knew upon sight who the little boy was in the
Oh,
opening,
yeah, I didn't.
or you're like me and you and we didn't, but then once the reveal happened and we're like, I'm like, oh, I already we're playing on like just new keys, you know, the same song, but little kind of interpolation or modulation, you know, of notes here and there and everything, because he's still speaking from a place of knowledge and a place of even just his exasperation, like when he tells them, like, I've been helping people for years, something like that. I've been telling people, you know, what to do for years and everything like that. And you know what? I'm tired. I want to go live my own life, spend what little time I have left. Which again, it's so clear this is something that you cannot act and that you cannot affect outside of like using CGI. And it's so clearly like, you know, skin and bone what we're seeing him that the man is, you know, not well. And so to see him as a character make the decision to make the most out of his life and maybe do things that he didn't take the time to do because he was too busy, you know, working on corpses and raising his eyebrows and grinning at teenagers, you
Right.
know, telling them they're going to
Playing
die.
yeah. Like this is a kind of a different Bloodworth, but it's at a different point in his life.
100%.
So I totally buy it, as
Me
opposed to just
too.
like little sneaky little I'll see you real soon and you know.
Yeah,
And
no, it was beautiful.
it's dangerous solidifying what has been mysterious for 5 movies.
Yeah,
You know, we've always wondered, like, is he Death himself?
right.
Why does he seem to know so much? You
Yeah,
know, and now you're giving us an answer that could be bad, but I am more than fine with it. In fact,
yeah.
I like giving him a little more humanity,
Hmm.
and I like giving him that little light at the end of his cinematic journey. And for as far as we know, that you know, it works.
Yeah. I just I agree with you, and also just the fact there's something so rewarding as a horror fan. And again, like this isn't even my franchise, but there's just something so rewarding about seeing um uh uh a man who I've when we watch people in movies, sometimes we don't even realize like how close we feel to people who we don't like
Mm.
have posters of on our wall. Like obviously we're fans of the people who we have posters of, or the people that, you know, we see every movie that they make kind of thing. But there are also the people who just happen to be in movies that we really, really like, who we know we like and who we think are awesome and who we want to see do more. And then, but we just kind of happen to see them when we see them. Like there's certainly like an incentive to see a movie if they happen to be in it, but they're not, their name isn't always over the marquee. Ooh, shit. I just pulled my earbuds out.
Blah
But their
blah
name
blah.
isn't
You're
always
an
over the
idiot.
marquee. Yeah. Gesturing emphatically. Their name isn't always over the marquee. They're not always, you know, their movies aren't always as celebrated and pushed to the forefront. Sometimes you have to hunt for them. And sometimes you don't always hunt for every single person you admire. But when someone has an opportunity to speak from a personal place and take something that upon which the framework was already valid, but then almost kind of like reinvigorate it with a deeper meaning. Because here he's been kind of like about like the bleak side of death or the threat of death in the movies prior to this, and for the first time he seems to be because I guess because he's for the first time feeling being on the receiving end of it, the character. There's something about seeing him accept it and opt for a new path for as little time as he has left, and advising us, because he's advising the kids, but he's advising us to do the same. There's it's a gift. I believe it was a gift for him,
Hmm.
and it's a gift for everybody who watches these movies. And it works.
Like you said, even if they're not your movies, like if you're just like, oh, I fuck with Candyman really hard, he's my
Right,
guy.
right.
He's still speaking to you.
Yeah, 100%. And again, like it's this weird thing where even at these movies at their most silly, because I think we brought this up when we talked about maybe as early as the first one, but I'm sure it must have come up at some point in the discussion, because how can you talk about this franchise without talking about like the reason why people do go to see these movies, whether they are diehard fans or just casual fans who will, there's a new Final Destination movie, sure, I'll go see it. Um, the thing that's interesting that the writers, when they're at their smartest, tend to key into is the universality of it, is the fact that like um I don't know, examining death as even an escapable concept in and of itself. Like, how much time are you really buying yourself? Um, if you're spending so much time focused on preserving your life as opposed to just living it, like
Living
things
it.
like that. Yeah, elements like that. And so, I mean, the groundwork has already been laid there, and whether the movies tap into it or not, or tap into it for more, screen time than others, really focus on the loss and the growth and the grieving and the unity, whatever. Ultimately, I love the fact that it didn't feel out of place. I love the fact that the character spoke to something that already pre-existed in the best of these movies. And I love that it's just one more moment, like a flower in the vase of like the exquisite moments of this franchise. So.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have said any better, so I can't really add much. Other than yes, I agree that it could have been sentimental for us, but maybe not for the movie. But like, no, it totally works. Especially that
Yeah.
like, at least for this particular character who spent so much time knowing, and now we know why he knows so much, and talking about death, to now
Yeah.
actually have death like knocking at his door,
Yeah.
and to see, well, this is how he handles it.
Right.
Like
These
I
are these
buy
are my
it,
priorities now. Yeah.
and it also helps that he's talking to the family of his dear friend. Um,
Yes. 100%.
And I think it's cute that they wrote in the fact that when she got sick, he used his position at the hospital to get her the best treatment that he could. I'm like, what
Yeah.
a good dude. Like all
Yeah.
those times he was fucking with all these like high schooler kids and being all silly, he's a really good dude underneath it all. Like,
Well, because it also it's one more thing that makes me feel unified with him, because I was one of those teenagers who hated teenagers. So even then, I was just kind of like, I know we're odious, and I know that that adults see us coming and want to cross the street, and sometimes they're right to. Even with me, I could be obnoxious and loud and
theater
scary.
kids, we're the worst.
Yeah, we're the worst, but and I still experience that now as an adult. There are certain kids where I get around, I'm just kind of like, oh my God, okay, a little, it's not off topic, but I was sitting in my van just having my lunch, and there were kids who were leaving school, and they were walking by my van, and one of them knocked on my passenger side window smiling, and I was just like, I just kept eating. And they started talking to me, and I wasn't listening. I had a thing playing on the radio, but I was just like, I'm not rolling down my window. I'm not engaging. I'm not ignoring you, but I'm not engaging. I'm just going to keep going and just eat my lunch in peace.
Are you eating a hot dog or like is that a spoon in your hand?
It's a spoon in my hand.
Because I just see this.
Oh, no, I had a spoon in my hand. There's a bowl. I think I was having rice pudding at the time. No,
Yeah.
I wasn't doing that. And who do you think I am doing that around a school? But
Oh yeah.
no, I'm sitting there eating rice pudding and everything like that, and they're just grinning at me, and I'm like, just please go away. And one of them got angry and like threw a punch at my van, my company van. He didn't even make a dent because his arms are this thin, but they were like, I don't know what was going on. I have no idea why they thought they could fuck with me. And then they just walked away, and I was like, "Oh, good," and I just kept eating. So anyway, so kids scare me. So I don't know. I kind of understand like why, oh, kids are coming around because they're scared of dying. Boo
For
hoo.
sure.
But now these kids who are like, connected, who actually, have a context that makes me care about them and give a shit. And also, I'm tired too, so I'm just on my way out. So before I go, here's a little wisdom that I'm going to impart on you. And whether it's wisdom or not, it's just what I'm doing
Yeah.
later.
It's
Peace out.
beautiful, man.
Yeah, man. So,
But also, I beyond the beauty of all that, I want to now pull into the nitty gritty within it a bit, without the emotions. I do find it interesting that like, he grew up and he says, I think Iris got in touch with him and they started working things out together and keeping track of all this. And then they fortified the house together. So and I can't help but wonder, did you get a job working in a morgue specifically because of all this death? Was this your way to like kind of be around it and learn more, be exposed, like to kind of
maybe.
help Iris? Like,
I I don't
is
know
this
if it
a
would have all been for her.
no? But
I
the
also,
two of you and this interest, this thing that
yeah,
you survived because of her, like,
yeah,
I feel like that maybe might have put him on a path to choose this field directly to be in as closest proximity to
yeah,
this
yeah,
thing that we are
yeah.
trying to solve.
I also think it's maybe a case of keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Ah,
Yeah.
because yeah, he does. There's another wrinkle I want to bring up.
Okay.
So we know now that he survived a thing. He already learned how things work. He and Iris have been following this timeline and watching all this unfold.
Yeah.
If not watching it for decades, but watching it, for whenever she got in touch with him and tracking it through the decades, right?
Yeah.
Which is how he probably has already saw that, like, all right, I'm looking at your map, or we worked on this map together, this timeline that shows, oh,
Yeah.
okay, this accident happened and then these people died and death came for them. So he knows how
Sure.
it works by the time Devlin Sawa, by the time Tom Cruise, Brandon Routh guy, and the little boy from The Office. That's, the boy and Pam and whatever, not Pam, Jan. The cheerleader boy from Fired Up. Anyway, by the
Yes.
time all these people come to them, here's my, it's not even a question. Like in this movie, and I think it's a fun callback that he explains in this one that like, well, the only thing you can do is kill someone. I'm like, that's the
Yeah.
advice from 5.
Yeah.
Or you could die and come back. I'm like, that's the
Right.
advice from 2.
2. Yeah.
It made me think though, and I wish I would have thought of this in our first time we were recording.
Uh-oh.
No, but like in 2, he he gives that advice to the people,
Yeah.
right? Like if only new life can stop death.
Sure.
But in this movie, through the book, it says that like JB found someone who cheated death. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
the only person who's cheated death with new life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they're the only person, how does he have that information to give to them? Like, where did he learn that from? Because they didn't do it until he told them to. But if they're the first and only ones to do it, where did that data come from?
Mm.
And let me posit to you my new wrinkle.
Okay.
Not even a wrinkle. It makes him a rascal. He didn't know. He just thought it might work. And then he told them that. And now he knows that it works. Like he's full of shit.
Like he's
The only way to
experimenting with
yes,
people like you're my guinea pig. Okay.
enough of these teens come up to him that he, you know,
That's a possibility. The other, and I don't even know how this works in time because it's late and I'm getting confused, but I'm gonna say, could it also have been possible that like he could have found them in 2, seen what's her name and seen that it worked, but not told Iris about it right away because he was waiting to see is the other shoe gonna drop? You know, like she
Right.
made it out of this, but let's see if she does. I'm gonna wait a few years before
But
I go in
it's still
safe, you know?
the only person though. There's no one before that.
Okay. So
So how does he know that it works if it's never happened before them?
how does he how does he know
He
if it
gives them that
works?
advice as if it is fact, as if it can be
Oh,
done.
I see what you mean. I
But
see what you
they're
mean.
the
Okay.
first ones to do it. So how does he know that? Again, I like to think
Oh.
he's fucking like he's like you're
Yeah,
my
you know
guinea
what?
pigs.
That makes sense. Okay. Now
This
now
is
we're on the
how
same page. I get it. I get it.
this is how I collect data for Iris. Is I tell these fucking kids something, we'll see if it works. And
Yeah.
then he goes, fucking Iris, I figured out a thing, you know.
It just makes me love him more. I'm just kind of like he's using these lab
Right.
rat
That's what I'm saying.
teenage
He's a little
kids.
rascal. He's a little scamp.
He's Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Ain't I a stinker?
That's what I like to think.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah, you know what? You gave me a new reason to like Final Destination 2, and I do not have a lot of things to like about that movie, so thank you.
I mean, even in that movie, he's already being a cheeky little bugger. Because,
Yeah.
like, well, maybe not cheeky, but like the way he says it to them,
Hmm.
they interpret it as, oh, a new person's baby is born. New
Right.
life cancels out death.
Yeah.
It's not until much later that they're like, oh, wait, never mind. That's not it. I'm like, yeah, because he didn't fucking explain it proper. He just, like, I'm just going to word it this way and let you figure it out. Okay.
Maybe he was being intentionally vague too, just to see like whatever may occur to them along the way, whatever opportunities present themselves to create life out of death, they'll jump on it to see if it works. And if it does, then I'll know that that works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there had to have been a first time someone, either he told someone or he found out, oh, someone killed someone and got extra time. Like, he has to get this data from somewhere. And this is where we find out, they're like, oh, this has been going on since the 60s?
Right.
Yeah, they've been collecting, he's been collecting info.
Yeah.
That's why he knows so much. Um,
Wow. How old
anyway,
was he in the
when he
60, in
when he passed,
62? No, in 62. The
well, I
little
mean,
boy.
he looks like what, he's 8 or 7 or 6.
Or 5 or 4
No,
or
I'm just saying
3.
between 6 and 8, I believe.
Okay,
That's
okay.
a 2 year window. Fuck you. Like, come on. Before you get too tired, I want to bring up another thing
Yes.
that I've I guess question. I don't know. It's just something we're thinking about because this movie brings up all sorts. Let me just ask you point blank.
Okay.
When it was established, two things were established.
Uh-huh.
This book contains a map, a timeline map
Mhm.
of everyone who was in the Skyline restaurant and their families and how they all got killed over time.
Mhm.
And within that book, we see articles and drawings of Flight 180. We
Right.
see drawings of a log, but we also see drawings of like a fire extinguisher and the thing from like her house. So like, was your impression that the movie is saying that all 5 of the previous movies, those people, someone in that group, one person in all 5 of those casts,
Mhm.
is descended from someone who was in the Skyline restaurant?
I believed that every person who had a premonition was.
That's what I thought at first too.
Why?
No, I just because again, the more you scrutinize this movie, the more things kind of fall apart. And I know that's one thing a lot of people who didn't like this movie, they didn't like
Oh,
that connection because it raises all sorts of questions. It doesn't fit. And if it's supposed to be canon, it retcons a lot of things.
like?
Well, I'll give you the biggest one, and then I'll follow it up with something.
Okay.
When you say like, I will say, let's take Devon Sawa, for example.
Yeah.
If it's going down the family line, why are his parents still alive? Why is the people in two's parents still alive? Why is Mary Elizabeth Winstead's like their parents would all have to be dead in order for this shit to be happening to them? They would be next in the family lines.
They were all adopted.
No, but you see what I mean? Like
Right.
it doesn't fit
Unless they're all adopted.
unless they're all adopted. So that's when I started, and I only looked this up today because that's the other thing is I don't care that much about the
Oh,
franchise. Like I
or
like it.
yeah, I
Oh,
know, yeah. Well, no, because I just thought like, or unless like only one of their parents, it needs to be of the lineage and everything like that. So if they have a stepmother or a stepfather, um, that's why at least one of the parents is alive, but that doesn't explain why they would have two parents. Sorry,
yeah,
it's getting late. Go on.
yeah. No, there would be like this whole history of yeah.
Okay, I get
Um,
it. I get it. Oh, that's a
so
shame.
today was the first day I really allowed myself to think about it because even though I enjoy this franchise, I
Yeah.
don't put too much thought into this franchise. I'm not
No.
that invested, and I
No.
find that I like these movies the most when I'm just sort of there and I'm watching it and I'm done.
Yeah.
It's when if you actually really like start to pick it apart, a lot of them fall apart.
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, and there's not that much lore to get wrapped up in, you know. So
Hmm.
today was the day where I really started to think about it. Where I'm like, well, what are the haters saying about this? Let me try to, and that's when I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I guess that doesn't make any sense if this is all the thing. All right, if it's
Mm.
all that timeline, then my brain is like, no, wait, maybe it's not the person getting the premonition though. What if it's just like
Oh.
someone in that group is related. Maybe it's
Mm.
one of these other kids, and we don't see their parents every single time. But I'm like, but to me, what's the fun of death picking some other kid? Like the whole point should be I'm picking someone in that bloodline. So,
Yeah.
which led me to, and this makes me feel so much better, Eddie. There's an interview on Screen Rant with the directors,
Huh.
and they flat out say, "Oh no, 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 they're not." And the first thing they say is because their parents would have to be dead, right?
Right,
Like
right.
they're like, we don't want to fuck with
Oh.
the canon of these movies,
Okay.
so that's not a thing. And I'm like,
Okay.
thank you, directors.
Okay, so
So,
then
so here's
those are outliers.
so
Those
that's what I'm getting at is it seems because here's the movie makes me think the book is all one subject, like one story.
mm,
And from what I'm gathering, it's like, no, 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 no. She pulls out these papers and she puts them all up in the middle. That's one chapter, that's one section of the book, which is Skyline. And since Iris was so directly involved, she's really mapped that one out.
hmm.
But in understanding how death works, she's also going, oh, a plane crashed. Let me read up on that. Oh, that's fucked up. That's going in the book. Oh,
Mm,
the freeway thing. Wait, there's a girl who claimed. So she's also chronicling all the other times it's happening, but
yeah,
they're not necessarily ripple effects from the Skyline restaurant.
yeah. That's
Which, you know,
interesting.
if you're researching this, would make sense. But I do find it a bit, I don't want to say confusing or misleading, but it really did make me think the two were all part of a bigger whole. Just through the visual language, if it's a movie, it's a book. She's turning pages, she's looking at this. I feel like
Right.
it's all one big ball of yarn and not an actual book that's probably separated by section.
Right. Because I mean
She
that.
only puts up the skyline on the wall, everything else
Right.
still
Right.
stays in the book.
Right. Well, because that's the thing that I'm just thinking about is that like there is like that connective tissue, that like kind of food chain, effect of movie five, one, and two. That was a
Mm-hmm.
ripple effect because everyone at the top of five kind of like met their end by the end of that movie, which begat one.
Mm-hmm.
And the people, and didn't we find out in two that everybody who was being pursued had
Yeah.
was supposed to be on that flight and then wasn't? So there you go with the ripple
Oh,
effect there.
yeah, it wasn't quite that, but yes,
Okay,
it
something
was
like
that
that.
everyone in two like had someone not like, oh, my teacher was on that flight and he would have gone to this, and like all of them were on that freeway for a particular reason that they wouldn't have been had the plane crash
Right.
not happened.
Okay, okay, gotcha,
Yeah. Oh,
gotcha,
my
gotcha.
uncle, like I borrowed my uncle's car today
That's
because
what it was. Okay,
yeah,
thank you. I don't watch that movie often
it's a
enough to
vague
pay
dumb ripple
attention for
effect.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But and then and then three kind of stands on its own, and so does four. But but
But
it's it makes sense that like if you're cataloging the phenomenon in and of itself, even if it's not interconnected with that, you may want to keep track of like the other
Correct.
timelines as it were.
Correct.
Yeah.
It just kind of, not complaining, but I kind of wish the movie had maybe done a little bit of dialogue to separate that.
Little help would have
Because
been
a lot
nice.
of people have gotten upset that like
Yeah, yeah.
this fucks with the canon in a big way.
Well,
And then
because it seems
the
like you
fact that it
introduce
doesn't
it
and the directors
as
say it
like
doesn't. Yeah.
yeah, but you see, I understand why because I did exactly that, where I just kind of assumed because we're going so far back into 1962,
I
and
did
it
too for three
predates and it,
viewings.
yeah, and it predates everything else that has happened subsequently. You imagine that they're all interconnected, especially when five, one, and two are interconnected. You wonder if there's going to be like a reveal at some point if that connects three, aside from just the phenomenon existing in every one of these stories in
Hmm.
and of themselves if there is going to be some interconnectivity between like three and four and everything else that's been displayed, which I don't need,
Right.
because in fact, I like the fact I like imagining that yes, there can be connective tissue. It's one of the favorite things about the reveal at the end of five, but even knowing it's coming, I still watch it and go, "Damn, that's great." But
Hmm.
I also like believing that it can happen more than just once where there's like a mistake where people
Yeah.
who were supposed to die survived and now death is like fuck no I'm getting you. I like
Well,
that.
the other movies have shown that there's more than one. Like, I'm gonna get into this. How like this one's got a whole different approach.
Yeah.
But like the other movies have shown there's a different approach. Like for me, one of the biggest examples is that in four, two things. I know you don't like four that much, but four does two interesting things that are unique. One is that he has that he has well he has a second vision while we're still trying to solve the first vision's problems.
Right.
He has the vision about the movie theater.
Right.
So we have a vision within a vision. I went, huh, that's different. And two, this is really unique, not anymore. He prevents the movie theater fiasco.
Mm, mm.
The plane crashes. The freeway accident still happens. The roller
Right.
coaster still fucking falls off. He stops the movie theater from exploding. I'm like, oh, that's fucking different. So
Right.
like it's not just the fact that like we cheated death. I almost feel like death was like, you fucking stopped me. Fuck you, truck through the
Right.
restaurant.
Right. Right. Right.
This one also, we open and we do find out, later that like, oh yeah, I got everyone the fuck out of the restaurant. Like I saved 62 people or whatever that night.
Yeah.
Um,
And then they demolished the restaurant like a few months later, right?
yeah. So like that's a new they do it at the end of four and it's very minor. He just comes back and gets these three people and they don't have kids or anything.
Right. Right. Right.
So this is a whole new thing where it's like you didn't just save people from getting off a plane and then everyone else died. You stopped the whole fucking thing from happening.
Right.
Which I think also is why it operates differently. Because, like, every other one, there was an incident. Like, okay, death still goes after everyone the way they would have died in the restaurant, which is
Mhm.
why Iris and Bloodworth are still at the end. But, like, in the other Final Destination movies, it never went after, like, anyone else's families.
Mhm.
It just went after the people who survived the plane. Like, the teacher, the students, we
Sure.
don't, almost all of our protagonists don't have kids.
Mhm.
The one lady, though, in two, like her kid gets smushed. Anyway,
Right. 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 Oh dear.
so this one's operating differently. But also, one could argue that like five's connected to one, two definitely operates differently compared to one because there's some dumb ripple effect.
Mhm.
Four, they get a vision before the. Same thing with three. Like they're in New York, we're on a subway, and I have a
Mhm.
vision again. So like, I think like one and five are like the only two like really straight up normal. Here's how it is. The end. We just keep cycling back until everyone dies. We don't have vision on top of vision or someone defeats something. Just one in five kind of do it, and it's really clean.
Mhm.
This one's a little different though because it, and I think it's only because the entire thing was averted, but it's choosing to go after extended families. Like that's a whole different
Yeah.
operation.
Mhm.
But because it's a different operation, the thing that really makes me go, huh, is that the rules, there's one rule that's really different. And it's funny how Death's like, I don't know, when I do it this way, these are the rules. But when I do it this way, this rule's out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, again, I never thought about this the other two times. This is the first time in my life I've allowed myself to really think about this movie. But like, what happens in the other movies when you push someone out of the way of the bus hitting them? Oh, it skips them.
Mm-hmm.
But then we find out it always comes back around. It comes
Right.
and gets you on the subway. It comes and gets you in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Devon's the sign in France. It always comes back unless you actually die and flatline and come back. You can't escape it.
Right.
This one posits something interesting that I've never seen before, which is that Iris keeps like skipping herself just over. Like if this was another movie, any of the other 5 movies, the first time she ever like outsmarted Death in her fortified house, whenever she, the magnifying glass against the rope, Death would have then just gone for Bloodworth. Or actually, it would have gone for her family.
Oh.
But they even talk about like she's protecting us because she's staying in that house. She's protecting Bloodworth. If she just keeps skipping that death, cheating that death, apparently Death just keeps coming back for that one target over and over and over and over.
Oh, I see.
And it doesn't skip and go to the next person.
Right.
That's a completely different rule. It's a really interesting idea. And I think they get away with it because the modus operandi this time is different than the other 5 movies.
Mm-hmm.
But had it been similar, had it just been like, I don't know, a restaurant fell and Steph survived and told 5 people to get out, you couldn't get away with just skipping your own death for decades and keeping someone safe. But it's a weird wrinkle. Like, this movie emotionally is really simple with its shorthand for drama, and is surprisingly complicated with like all of its little rules. We're like, oh, there's a book, and we might make you think that it's related to the other movies, but it's not. But haha, you thought. And don't overthink too much about how Iris is skipping over her own death to protect people, even though that's never happened in any movie before. I could see why some fans go like, huh, this movie.
Maybe it makes a difference whether
you care that much.
No, I mean whether your life was actually spared in a disaster versus whether your very existence
exactly
comes into question. Yeah, because that person was supposed to die. Maybe that's what trips Death up. Like, shit, if y'all weren't interconnected by anything other than this disaster, I could just move on and come back to you when I come full circle. Yeah. But because y'all are in a family, I'm stuck on this fucker.
Right.
Until they're out of the way, then I can move on to the next person. Then I can move on. Then once I get them all out of the way, then I can go on to the next fucker. But it's
like
bloodlines. Bloodline specific.
Exactly. Which is why like I really get the title.
Right.
And because it really is its own separate kind of beast with its slightly different rules and
for no real reason,
other than they want to do something new. Yeah. And I think the movie does a good job of like doing something that's new while still giving you the familiar. But it is definitely something new. And while I don't begrudge it, I'm fine with it because I'm generally just fine with this whole franchise. I understand, even though I don't agree, but like I understand why the hardcore fans who didn't like it went, wait, this is different. And I go, oh, I see your point. I see why you might be upset.
I mean, there are people who were, absolutely die hard over this movie where I'm just kind of like, okay, cool.
And there's some people
who are just kind of like, this was a betrayal. And I'm like, all right.
There's some people who like, it's the best one in the franchise for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't feel either way.
I don't either. I think it's a good time. And I do think it's cute as I wrap up. I do think it's cute that, unlike, I like the Scream. It's funny. It's like it's not a legacy sequel, but it has been like I think 15 years since the last movie.
Feels right.
And 25 years since it started. And they didn't do some dumb excuse to have like Devon Sawa show up, like digitally de-aged, or like playing a dream version of Devon Sawa. Like I won't reference what other recent legacy sequel has an excuse to have a character come back in a dream who otherwise would be dead.
At this point, I don't know if you have to.
They don't reach that hard. And in fact, I kind of respect, like, the most on the nose is, hey, the logs. Remember the logs? It was pretty popular. It's been a meme for 15 years. Everyone's used that GIF. So we're going to do the logs again. But, like, there's a lot of little things that I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, I feel like if I was really into this, like, I'm picking up on it. And I'm not even that hardcore. But, like, when Eric gets pulled into the MRI, the pieces of the wheelchair break through his stomach, and he has this tattoo of a skull on his chest. And that's the poster for the 5th movie. Mm-hmm. Is like the steel rods coming out of a skull. I'm like, that's dope. I catch that reference. It's not the same shot, but they do a hard cut to a coffin at the funeral, and I'm like, that reminds me of 3. Mm-hmm. Little things. We never talked about this last time because I wasn't aware of it, but there's a fictional brand of beer that's only in the Final Destination movies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In 2, 3, 4, and 5, and it's named after the stunt coordinator or stuntman from 1.
Oh, how fucking cool.
But that beer is at the barbecue in this movie. So I'm like, oh.
That's nice. That makes me really happy.
Yeah. In fact, the dad's wearing a shirt in an earlier scene.
Oh, that's fun.
I'm like, yeah, good. Like, this is, if I was like really into this franchise, I'd be pissed if you didn't have this beer in it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I was going to say you'd own that shirt.
Yeah. I mean, I just found out about it today, but like, I like horror shirts. I enjoy this franchise enough.
Mm-hmm. It's a conversation piece for people who will recognize it. Yeah. Yeah,
you could wear it at a horror convention and someone would get it. 100%. I do like when they're looking, they're trying to remember the name of the hospital. It was like Clear Water
River.
Clear River. It was like, again, that's the extent of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not, you know.
They could have full on named it Clear Rivers, but I'm glad they didn't.
I'm glad they didn't too. Yeah. Yeah. And there, before we wrap up, I just have a few little things that I want to point out. There's a very funny moment in this movie that is the right kind of levity, which is when Eric is finding out who his real father is.
Yeah.
And then they get up and they leave and they're still yelling. Like, I forget what his name is. Steve, whatever.
Whatever the name of the
And they never tell you, they make it such a big deal. Like, he would, I guess he's some annoying guy, maybe from school, whatever.
That nobody likes, yeah.
But out of frame, they're still having the conversation. And you just hear, is this why he always wanted to play catch?
Yeah, that was funny.
Good stuff.
I laughed in the theater and I laughed at home when I saw it again, yeah.
I always laugh every time, and it happens a lot, when we're in a very public space, not some private secret government headquarters, but just like a place that has an MRI machine. Mm-hmm. And the MRI machines are always capable of like magnetizing a Terminator to it. And just like every time I'm like, you would never make this device be that strong. Otherwise, people would be dying all the time.
Why wasn't that room locked?
Okay, I'll do you one better. How the fuck can a whole ass family just walk into the morgue while a guy's pulling guts out? Like, why wasn't that door locked? I think about that every time. Like, in Reanimator, they're at a college, and the college has security, but they're at a professional ass city hospital, and they just like, well, the hospital people just told us we would go in. No.
As someone who works in medical deliveries, I have to tell you, there are times I wish hospitals were that easy to get into, because they're not.
Right. This whole ass family just walks in, this guy's holding guts. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
No.
Movie shit.
I will give this movie one little credit, though.
What?
It's still bullshit the MRI goes that high. It's bullshit in every other movie that's done it.
Yeah.
But they had the wherewithal to have like a green setting and a yellow setting, and then when it hits red, it's called research power, and then something lands on the keypad that must and it goes research power unlocked. Like there was a restriction, there is a passcode. I'm like, okay, I see you. You're at least acknowledging that you're not supposed to go this high. There is a restriction for it going this high. I've never seen a movie do that before.
Yeah, that's true. Like, and death is just kind of like, if I just position this in just such a way that it falls,
it's still
right
bullshit,
keys.
But it's a slightly smarter bullshit.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. And then also, I remember being so upset in theater. I get upset every
Uh-oh.
time, Eddie. I don't. I like Bobby. I don't want Bobby to die. And we made such a big deal about making sure that the truck has no peanut butter in it, and we're very scared to have him go through a rotating door.
Mm-hmm.
But when the peanut butter cups get stuck and they're shaking it, I'm like, no, this will kill. Do not. He goes on this, and I'm like, Bobby, get away from the front. You're afraid to go through a door, but you're just going to be like, oh, we're going to shake this. Did you guys all forget the mission for like 1 minute?
Yeah.
And it's just so irresponsible. And I don't know if the movie forgot or if the characters forgot, but I get so mad that they do the vending machine shake with Bobby in the front.
Yeah, me too. I also feel like, again, it's the movie. It's like I See You movie. You're trying to put him in under duress, and you're trying to, like, like kind of like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? He's going to kill his brother, and he just swore he was going to take care of him. But also, it's an opportunity for Eric to do something big and theatrical. But it kind of like with like everybody yipping around, being like, we're family," and then someone shows up and goes, "No." This pissed me off for a similar reason, just because they put money in, and they didn't make a point to say like that's all the money I've got. So when
Right.
when the peanut butter cups get stuck, I'm like, we'll just put in money again. It'll spin and it'll drop, and you'll be fine.
It's 2025. You can just put your debit or credit card right up to it.
Yeah, just hold it up. And just at this juncture, given the stakes of like what you need
Right.
to achieve and the fact that this is standing in between you and that, maybe the smarter thing is to just kind of like, but that's not the way Eric operates, and maybe that's why I don't
Right.
like him as much as you do.
I mean, and also, I just like his face.
Yeah, he's got a great
I mean,
face.
by the way, do you know who he is?
No.
In Trick or Treat, he's one of the trick or treaters on the bus, this bus of special kids. He's he's the vampire one.
Oh my God, I knew you were going to say that. I just got goosebumps. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I love him.
Yeah. He's
Like every year. Oh my God. Okay.
yeah.
Yes. Oh my
He's the most
God.
specialist boy on that bus. Yeah.
Sad. Okay, well, good for him. I'm glad
Yeah.
he's doing more memorable work. It's like
Yeah.
that guy who was in Smile 2 and shit. The one about the girl robot companion. That guy, what's his name? I don't remember his name right now because I can't remember anything, but he played
Who
the
is he in Companion?
in Companion,
Oh,
he's
oh,
the
he's the fucking weight
Mhm,
to the yeah, that dude's good.
he's really good.
I mean, first Companion's really, 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 really high on my list of
Me too.
2025
Me
films.
too. Me too.
Here's what's fucked up is I really like that actress from Companion.
Mm.
I like her in Heretic. I liked her in Book of Boba Fett. She's always good. I think she's great. And it feels fucked up for a movie starring her and doing all that work for me to say, you know who was my favorite in that movie? That dude. But that dude was fucking great.
He's
Because
so.
he gets to go through like a whole like romantic love story and sell
Mhm,
me on this
mhm,
relationship. But then he
mhm.
also gets to become a Terminator. Like
Yeah.
he
He,
plays it all.
well, and then I saw Smile 2, and I was just like, oh, fuck, like you can kind of do anything, and I want to see you do whatever you do now.
That dude's great. That dude's
I gotta learn his
great.
name because it's worth knowing.
Yeah.
Everybody in that fucking movie's name is worth knowing.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah. But
this
yeah, good.
movie.
Also, I think it's cute that the movie also, this will be my last thought, that I've never seen the other franchise really, as far as I know, do this. But that fucking Penny, like making it like,
Jesus Christ.
not even in the original, the vision, but the fact that like in the real world, like she grabs that penny, she's like, fuck no. I almost like
Mhm.
to think that besides her learning all the rules, it's almost like, no, like as long as this penny stays in the book, me and my family are safe. Because sure enough, like once that penny, like, well, it's not right when the penny falls out, but like the penny falls out and it's doom for like her grandkids
It's the
and
first domino, yeah.
all because that kid took it out of the fountain and you should leave it in the fountain.
Stop stealing people's wishes.
Decades of death, all because this little shit took a penny, someone's wish, someone's Goonies wish, out of the fountain.
It has
Like,
nothing to do with the unscrupulous construction company that finished 5 months early on
no.
the Skyview.
Well, again, that's the thing is that movie has three different catalysts. The
Yes.
penny, the shitty construction, and then the stupid earring-sized thing that
The
falls off.
chandelier thing,
Yeah.
yeah. The dobble, what'd you call it? The double bobble, whatever it is.
Little bobbly thing. I don't know.
Little bobble, bubble, double
Yeah.
bubble. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, but
Well,
it's like somebody really had a hard on for the old adage of like, a bad penny always turns up again, and they're like, haha, we're gonna do that. It literally turns up again 60 years later and destroys that family. All these little things too, like a penny can derail a train.
mm-hmm.
A penny
Yeah.
can derail a
That's the
train.
legend. I remember hearing about that in grade school.
Well, I saw it on The Simpsons where they put it in the little. No, the thing I always heard in grade school is you put the penny on the track and it gets flattened.
No, and I've seen that, but
Yeah.
I remember before I saw that, somebody said like, if you put the penny on the track, the entire track is going to derail. That in that tone of
Yeah.
voice, and then you just kind of go, oh, I guess that's the truth. And then
This
you
is
see flattened pennies. You're like, so wait, did an entire train derail for this penny
yeah.
to get flattened? I
No, but
don't
that's the
think
thing
so.
is,
I
yeah,
don't think
there's
so.
this has been a weird year for like incredulous bullshit happening in movies because like the penny just gets stuck right in between the thing
Yeah.
and it doesn't have like it doesn't and then even the force of the train doesn't just snap at it like all right like and not to spoil Jurassic World whatever the fuck but there is some dumb like a Snickers wrapper is what makes an entire
Oh, I haven't
it
seen it
gets stuck in
yet.
an
Oh
air vent
wow.
and then
Oh
oh no the
no.
door can't close because the Snicker wrapper got stuck in an air vent. Now millions of people are going to get eaten by a dinosaur because of a Snickers wrapper and you're like
That's a shitty door.
it is a shitty door. I wish the movie had some statement about like InGen and corporations and oversight, and it has nothing to say about anything. But anyway,
The last thing I have to say is just it's the only note that I didn't cite, so I'm just going to
Hmm.
say it as my sign off. I just love that I screamed out loud that this on this day. I didn't do it in the theater, but when what's his name? Iris's betrothed, baby daddy tells
Short King
her,
is what I call him.
yeah, tells her you look like $1,000,000. I went, yes, you do, because that's how involved I was with that couple. I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's right. She does look like me. You tell her that. I, that opening sequence works.
They were those kids. They're a cute couple,
Oh, and then
and
the
I just
photo.
root for her. Like I thought Stargirl was so much fucking fun, and I want
Oh
her
my
to I want her
God.
to be the lead of this just bunch of movies. Just everything. Put her in
So
everything.
so easy to just hitch your wagon to her and just follow her through her feelings, her fears, her anxiety. Oh my God, I love her. Yeah,
Yeah.
already. I'm ready for more. I'm ready for more.
Are
Yay!
you ready for a seventh Final Destination?
Oh, I wasn't ready for a sixth one, but sure.
Okay.
I mean, again, I wasn't like, when are they going to make the next Final Destination? But I also wasn't like, I hope they never make another Final Destination. It's more just like, I'll take what comes. Let's see.
I think I'm a little more than you. Like I've always enjoyed them, so I'm always like, oh, cool,
Yeah,
another one. Let's fucking go.
I have better
But
luck with the odd numbered ones anyway, so bring
but
it on.
this is easily the best even numbered one.
I agree with you there, 100%.
Yeah. I'd just be curious, where do you go next? Because this one did a good job of kind of tying into the past
Yeah,
and giving us a goodbye with Bloodworth.
yeah. I feel the same way about another Final Destination movie as I do about the third Smile movie. It's like, you better fuck me up. Like, don't just you can literally do anything. Please take advantage of that.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
I, I wouldn't say I disliked Smile 2.
Oh,
It didn't really deliver enough for me so that when I went, oh, this is what we're doing with 2. Okay, I don't really need any more. We can just stop here.
oh, okay.
Like, I thought 1 was surprisingly great
Mm,
because I went in with pretty low expectations,
same.
yeah, and if if we're gonna go, if 1 to 2, we're gonna follow that same 2 to 3. Like, oh, I'm good.
Mhm.
That wasn't enough for me.
Oh, see, I'm ready. It's like, okay,
Right.
you plan it, you set it up. You better pay it off in a way that satisfies me. You better
Oh,
have an idea.
yeah. Okay. If we're talking directly about the ending, then yeah, like that.
Yeah.
To continue from that ending, you have to. Spoiler alert, everyone, for Smile 2. You have to like do full apocalypse next movie. You need to have like a huge budget with
Mhm.
just all sorts of fucked up, because like too many people witnessed that.
Yeah.
You have to go like 28 days later,
Yeah,
you know.
you have to make like a big grand gesture, and you have to make it interesting. That's the thing. It can't just you have to be smart. And that's how I feel about the
Yeah.
next Final Destination movie. It's just like, uh, just please, if you're gonna make another one, just be smart about it. Have
Yeah.
fun, but come on.
Again, these movies, both like 4 was supposed to be the end,
Hmm.
and the curtain dropped, and they're like, oh, we're raising it again for a
Yeah,
5th, and then the
yeah,
curtain dropped.
yeah,
And this one also feels like, well, Bloodworth, this family, this is the last of the bloodline. Like,
yeah.
this could be the end again, but we know they're going to do another one.
Because also
The question
this is
is,
the thing. The forces are eternal, so it's like, what are you gonna do with this
right?
next
It's
chapter,
just,
this next era?
I
Yeah,
mean, all it has to be is some other story. But do you just
yeah,
want to make it be some other random thing, or do you want to make it something a little special, not necessarily
yeah.
tied in the way this is tied in, but like,
No,
does there have to? Could you have some new, clever,
that's what I want.
fun thing?
Yeah, that's what I want.
And then if you don't, if you're just going to do kind of like another Final Destination 1, that's fine, but you really got to like nail it.
And even
And
then, I'm
just
gonna be like,
because
oh,
I like me a good, like, I like
hmm
me a Jurassic Park 3. Like, I don't know,
yeah,
some people running from dinosaurs for 90 minutes.
yeah.
Cool.
And a little extra lore for the Raptors,
Don't
like,
pretend to be anything bigger than you really are.
yeah. But
Like
also, like, we're
3 has no pretense, and I love
no,
that about 3.
I do too. I love the fact. Again, I love. Tell me more about the Raptors. They're interesting. They're smart. You telling me they're smarter than primates? I don't really buy that, but you know what? I'll get on the ride.
Yeah.
Just show me. Show me how they're smarter than primates.
But
Oh,
yeah,
that's pretty smart. Okay. You know.
well, I don't know. That's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope if anything they swing for the fences and go for something else unique again,
Hmm.
something else that might offend the purists to be like, hey, but like, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me. It was nice to hear your opinions on this.
Right? Yeah. I learned things that I did
Hey,
not know. Yeah. So thank you. It's fun.
um, always a pleasure. We'll
Yeah.
be back in a few weeks for another movie that we talked about the franchise for that has since had a franchise. Saw X. He's been using brand X.
That's
But I get a grin again and again.
Tell me, kid.
All right, bye, everybody.